Welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have questions or comments, we have multiple ways to be reached. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those who need instant gratification. The show's Twitter feed is @SkimPod, SKIMPOD.
Stays Crunchy.
If you want to hear yourself on the show, why not leave us a voicemail? 216-302-8763. That's 216-302-8POD.
Stays
For the
Crunchy.
more patient amongst you, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy again being spelled with a K. We're available via Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, Spotify, and of course at the website stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever you can.
Stays Crunchy.
And if the pockets is feeling extra chunky, you can put in on this and support our Patreon. It's available at patreon.com/stayscrunchyandmilk. And if you donate at the $5 or higher level, you get an entire extra show each month with even more content coming soon.
Stays Crunchy.
Our personal Twitters are Tatum216, Lunchbox2099, The Real ODP, and I'm your host, the Internet's Tayrail713. Watch Vast murder the track Effortless. Like God's on my side, and he answered my Christmas list. After the first couple of bars, I start to smell fear. That's when I take them there so they can breathe air. You're so secure with your insecurity. Perfect world of piety, I swat flies when they bother me. Some say I touch hearts like Kano. Now every time you see a mic, you just say no. Some write with words, I write with metal. That's my soul as rust-free raps stay dusty. In the coldest winters, we thought husky. They be like, I don't know his name, but he aimed like Wayne Gretzky. That's funny cause I don't play hockey. I play horse on the mic and watch them all copy. Left hooks left them shook like a Etch-a-Sketch. Give me an inch with mine, take a mile if you let me. I'm not a bum, I'm a nomad off the dome. Thoughts have no home, the page is ours to roam. Cats be on some fantasy shit like Cinderella. Well, we'll see if the shoe fits after the acapella. Never made sense claiming you wasn't. What's the penalty for that? He might never come back, but the atomic pressure won't lessen. After you've learned your lesson, Mr. Simpson on the track? Yeah, that's $1.50, like a farmhand cutting a little piggy. If I'm the author, I'm also the farmer, stupid. I shoot an arrow at you and my name ain't Cupid. Hello, welcome to it. Stays Crunchy Milk, it's episode 394. And I'm joined by my best friends, Tatum216.
Hello.
It's the homeboy, the real ODP.
Hello.
Lunchbox2099 is watching the NFL draft, but we ain't leaving you without a fourth chair. Welcome back to homie Chaufie of the Cadillac on Mars podcast.
Hey, what's up?
Glad to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
All to the good. Thanks for filling in.
It's our pleasure.
It's all to good. I got questions for Chaufie about all kinds of things, but I'm gonna get back to what we was talking about just a moment ago. And the question being this: would you eat the pie that kid fucked on American Pie?
Jason Biggs.
I'm not saying. Yeah, whatever his character's name was. What was his name?
Jim.
Jim. It was Jim. So I was listening to Doughboys last week, and Weiger offered up that he would just cut around it and maybe eat the pie.
Okay, so in this situation, do you have to eat the pie?
I'm never forcing hands. No, you don't have to eat the pie.
I'm just going to go on the safe side and say no. And what kind of pie was it? Was it a Dutch apple pie or a regular apple pie?
I think it was just an apple pie, but let's see if it had a crumbly top.
A warm apple pie.
I thought it was like a crisp, like the fucking crisscross.
All right, let's all assume it's a delicious apple pie. And your reward for eating this pie would be deliciousness. But would you eat the pie? Is it worth it?
Yeah, I mean, because if I had to contemplate, like, if I'm in this, sometimes you just have these thoughts where you're just like, do I eat the pie? You know what I mean? It's like when you get the moldy slice of bread and you're just like, I mean, it's not a lot of mold, right? You cut it out. But at the same time, like, I'm thinking this. Not only was his, like, dick in the pie, but you got to figure the whole groinal area was, like, up against the pie. So you're getting, like, pubes and sweat and ball slapping. Yeah,
so, like, get ball sweat and pre-cum.
It's more than just the dick.
If it was just a dick in the pie, but oddly enough, I have more problem with balls being near the pie than dick.
Mm-hmm. Balls are dirty.
Yeah. I mean, can you guys see the pie right there?
Yeah.
I see the pie.
Yeah,
okay. Delicious looking pie.
So it's a nice lattice pie. It's got some sugar on the top of it.
Yeah.
If anything, that could cut that boy's dick up.
Right.
And
exactly. If that damn sugar looking sharp.
If I had to fuck a pie, it would definitely be a hand pie. It wouldn't be like a whole pie. It would be like a McDonald's style dick sleeve.
Oh, okay. I feel you. Hey, but those pies they serve real hot. So
I can wait 10 minutes.
I mean,
would you rather fuck cake than pie?
Nah.
The fuck kind of disrespectful shit is that, Gabriel? You already talking about fucking no cake.
No, I'm talking about for sexual pleasure.
Hell no. You ain't disrespecting cake.
What kind of cake is it?
I am here for
if
the
it's
cake
like a chantilly cake, yes.
Because cake can eat all the dicks, all the asses, you name it. Hate cake, cake on God, terrible. Don't like it.
No.
Except for tres leches. That shit is tight.
Listen, we was once real tight, man, and now this has happened to us, bro.
Well,
so it was nice being the shortest guest.
Yeah.
No. You don't have to worry. Go ahead, Gabe. You can say it since you're the historian.
Well, now wait a minute. The density and the texture of a pound cake would feel real good about now.
I just want you to understand, pound cake works on so many levels.
Right, exactly.
Point.
It's in the name. It's asking for it. Oh, that sounded real rapey.
Wow.
I didn't mean that. I think kind of came out wrong.
I think that cake was asking for it is definitely a show title. But what I was trying to say was that the fact remains that you and Chaufie can still be 99% friends.
Yes.
Exactly. Holy cow.
Wow.
It is rare that we get a show title this early in the game, folks.
I mean, for real. That just ended into the conversation right there. I had something
I don't want to see the show art of me looking like a creep and going after the pie, going after the cake. And that poor cake saying, no, not like this.
You could have stopped this. They did not have to go any further. Right. You've made it worse by the moment.
Now I think I want to excuse myself from the show because I'm trying to keep my job and not be like on a fucking cake rape show. Which might be a different type of like contest. Hosted by Nicole Byer.
Don't lift my cake.
Yeah.
So bad.
We got a lot on the menu this week.
I imagine it's so different.
I got a grip of stories. I got Chaufie on here, which means I gotta sit and rap with Chaufie about some things. Yeah. We got a lot to do this week, so a lot to do this week, people. So let's hit the ground running. You know how it is
already.
Yeah.
My man Ant hits you with multiple news stories. I grab some news stories and we make this shit happen. It's so much news this week that we gonna run through a bunch of stories, but I feel like all of them need to get heard, and I want all your opinions on them shit. So let's go. It's from Vice News. Trone Dowd wrote this. Chauvin juror says verdict could have come in 20 minutes except for one person. It took the jurors less than 2 days to reach a guilty verdict in the trial of Derek Chauvin, but according to juror number 52, it could have happened even quicker. High school basketball coach Brandon Mitchell, 31, told ABC's Good Morning America that a decision could have come within 20 minutes of deliberating, except one of the 12 juries was initially unsure. They wanted to make sure they got it right, Mitchell said during the interview Wednesday. I think the one juror was kind of, I wouldn't say slowing us down, but was being delicate with the process. More so was just kind of hung up with a few words in the instructions. Mitchell was the first juror to speak out about the process of convicting the former Minneapolis police officer charged with the murder of George Floyd and what it was like to serve in one of the most highly watched criminal trials in decades. He described the atmosphere of the Hennepin County courtroom during the more than 3 weeks of arguments to several news outlets. The grim details and video evidence in the trial weighed heavily on people in the courtroom. Mitchell said the process of repeatedly watching video of George Floyd's death felt like a funeral. Every day we had to come in and watch a black man die. That alone is stressful, Mitchell told CBS. It definitely had an impact on me. There were a few days where I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make it in the next day, especially as a black man and a larger black man. Mitchell said the prosecution's selection of star medical witness helped seal the deal with a majority of the jury. He singled out a testimony of pulmonologist and breathing expert Dr. Martin Tobin on the 9th day of the trial. Once Dr. Tobin was finished with his testimony, I felt like the trial was done, Mitchell told CNN Wednesday. Wow. He spoke everything in layman's terms, and it made sense. Mitchell said that Tobin's testimony, which laid out exactly why it was Chauvin who killed Floyd when he kneeled on the 46-year-old black man's neck for more than 9 minutes, seemed to be an insurmountable obstacle for the defense to overcome. I don't think there was any way for the defense to come back after that, Mitchell told CBS Morning. When Dr. Tobin came in with him speaking so scientifically, but also making it understandable for everybody, along with the exhibits that he came with, I thought he broke it down in a manner that was easy for all jurors to understand. Mitchell's insight comes as a bit of surprise, as just last week, Judge Peter Cahill ordered the identities of the 12 jurors to remain hidden from the public due to violent threats received by attorneys on both sides of the case. Derek Chauvin was convicted of second and third degree murder and second degree manslaughter last week. His sentencing was originally scheduled for June 16th, but was recently rescheduled to June 25th due to a scheduling conflict. Chauvin also faces the possibility of federal charges in both Floyd's death and in the brutal 2017 arrest of a black 14-year-old who he also kneeled on for minutes at a time.
This motherfucker just likes to kneel on people. Jesus.
The trial for the other 3 former Minneapolis police officers involved in Floyd's fatal arrests, Tu Thao Thomas Lane and J. Alexander King, is scheduled to begin in August. The reason I think he will get the whole goddamn book through him at sentencing is because at sentencing, you can bring up that other case that he got again. You can come out with everything at sentencing. It's you can get a little more free, unless a judge just comes out and says, "Hold on now." But you can really let some shit fly at sentencing that might just be like, "What? That motherfucker did this before and we ain't know about it." And I feel like people finding that out will be helpful to make sure that he does some time.
I mean, I don't know what this guy can say to make it seem like he has a little bit of remorse from the whole thing, because
he doesn't. He thinks he was right to do it. He does not believe the look of shock on his face when they was like guilty on all counts was like, these niggas arrested, they got me. He thinks he's a cop, and he thinks he has the can murder with impunity, especially a black person. He just does. He doesn't have any remorse.
History tells him has reinforced that. So
correct, exactly. So we keep it rolling. If we're gonna talk cops, might as well keep talking dirty cops, right? It's also from Complex. It's Tracy William Cowan over at Complex. Florida cops busted for allegedly issuing false traffic tickets to people they never pulled over. 2 Florida cops were arrested after allegedly issuing false traffic tickets, including to drivers that were never pulled over by the officers. The charges of Hialeah police officers was announced Wednesday by Miami-Dade State Attorney Catherine Fernandez-Rondo and Hialeah Police Chief Sergio Velasquez. Per a news release, the officers have been identified as Armando Perez and Ernesto Arias Martinez. Perez has been with the Hialeah Police Department for 5 years. Arias Martinez has been on the force for less than 4. After one alleged victim officially received 18 citations in February of last year, followed by 6 additional citations just 1 day later, an audit was conducted into both officers' activity, spanning from January 2020 to June 2020. The investigation resulted in uncovering of 8 more alleged victims who had also received citations in writing. All told, according to a report on the officers' charges from the Tampa Bay Times, David Ovell, dozens of fake tickets were sent to at least 9 people in 2020. Multiple alleged victims, per that report, had never been pulled over by police. In several cases, according to Miami-Dade State Attorney's officers, the officers allegedly used fake names in combination with information from targeted drivers. Perez has been charged with 5 counts of official misconduct and 5 counts of falsifying public records, while Arias Martinez is facing 4 counts of the same charges.
Man, they're not helping the cause at all.
No. Well, I'll say this too. I'm going to say, being from Florida, they're probably Cubans, not Puerto Ricans or Mexicans.
Oh, there we go.
That's a whole different group. That's a whole... Cubans are on a different level. They
still vote Republicans because something Reagan did fucking 30 years ago.
Oh yeah, they're on the alt-right bandwagon big time. That's why you see a bunch of brown people like in these fucking Proud Boy rallies, and then it's like, oh, you're Cuban, never mind. Like, that's a different thing. Like, I don't know. That's a different game. Yeah, and it's just like it goes back to what you guys were saying earlier. It's this sort of, but I'm doing my job because I can do these. I'm supposed to write tickets. I'm supposed to enforce this law. And it's like the because there's never been penalties. Like whatever, I can't even remember the numbers off the top of my head, but it was like the amount of officers who are convicted for crimes against them is like less than 5% of the history of policing. And it's like, but the amount of cases is like astounding. And so it's like when there really is never a conviction, when there really is never a penalty, except for, hey, we're going to, put you behind a desk for a little bit or give you a little paid leave. Like, I mean, it's not bad.
Paid leave. We're giving them a fucking vacation.
Yeah,
killing somebody.
Exactly. Like, paid leave's tight. So, yeah, give me paid leave for sure. But there's never a consequence. And then you just get to kind of roll back and just be like, okay, so here's your gun and here's your cuffs. Fucking knock yourself. Go have at it. Because, like, even that logic, too, that, always comes up, well, a few bad apples. I'm so fucking over the bad apples. Like, you know what? They're all bad apples because the good apples aren't snitching out the bad apples. So guess what? You're a bad apple, too. Mm-hmm. Because you're not upholding what you should have been doing. Like, your job is to protect the community. That's the job. Not enforce the community. Protect the community. Yes. And the fact that they do not protect the community, but make it volatile, oppressive, like that's a problem. And then when you have your counterparts, if I've mentioned like many times, like I'm fine with it. Like I work in education. I have a staff member who's fucking up or being inappropriate. Guess what I do? I write them up or I get rid of them. Because that's my job. Because I have to protect the children they work with. I have to make sure that people are safe, secure, it's a learning environment, and there's progress being made. But if I go, so what? So the teacher threw a thing across the classroom. No one got hurt. No big deal. Let's keep it moving. No, that's not okay. Do your fucking job. Like, how hard is that? That's what it boils down to. Do your job. Protect the community. That's all I'm asking you to do. And I'll keep saying this till the fucking day I die, until the day it happens. Defund the police like you fucking defund education. My people cannot buy a fucking pencil. They can't get a notebook without having to jump through 1,000 fucking hoops. I do not understand, again, why the people who are, again, here to protect us have military-grade weapons and devices. I do not understand that. Why do they have tanks?
Yes.
But I got, like, iPads from 3 years ago that are brand new to me. Like, come on. Our perspective is way off. Like, you need to invest at the beginning so that we don't have these results in the end. And that's just basic education. Like, I can't be mad at you if you don't know how to subtract, but I never taught you how to. That's my fault. So, I don't know. That's just my little soapbox.
That's all right. It's all right.
Oh, I love it.
Let's roll on.
Let me ask you something, though. Were these cops getting caught because they were using fake names like Craven Moorhead and David Jablomi? This is Florida.
That is true.
This is from the good people over at CNN. This is a series of articles they've been writing called History Refocus. Black or other. Doctors may be relying on race to make decisions about your health. We just discussed this a couple weeks back. This is by Jackie Smith and Cassie Spodak. When she first learned about race correction, Naomi Nikinsky was one of 5 black medical students in her class at the University of Washington. Nikinsky remembers the professor talking about an equation doctors use to measure kidney function. The professor said EGFR equations adjust for several variables, including the patient's age, sex, and race. When it comes to race, doctors have only 2 options, black or other. Kinsky was dumbfounded. It was really shocking to me, said Kinsky. I'm going to say it's Kinsky. It's Nkinsi. I'm going to assume the N is silent. Kinsey. Now a third-year medical and master's of public health student, to come into school and see that not only is there interpersonal racism between patients and physicians, there's actually racism built into the very algorithms that we use. At the heart of a controversy brewing in America's hospitals is a simple belief medical students say: math shouldn't be racist. Patients like Nicole Jefferson agree. The argument over race correction has raised questions about the scientific data doctors rely on to treat people of color. It attracted the attention of Congress and led to a big lawsuit against the NFL. What happens next could affect how millions of Americans are treated. I'm gonna read just a little bit of this because it's very long, and I was gonna tell you, like I said, head over to CNN. It's in their history refocus series, and it's a bit longer, so I'm not gonna read you the whole thing. But Carolyn Roberts, a historian of medicine and science at Yale University, says slavery and the American medical system were in a codependent relationship for much of the 19th century and well into the 20th. They relied on one another to thrive, Roberts said. It was common to test experimental treatments first on black people so that they could be given to white people once proven safe. But when the goal was justifying slavery, doctors published articles alleging substantive physical differences between white and black bodies. Like Dr. Samuel Cartwright's claim in 1851 that black people have weaker lungs, which is why grueling work in the fields was essential, his words, to their progress. The effects of Cartwright's falsehood and others like it linger today. In 2016, researchers asked white medical students and residents about 15 alleged differences between black and white bodies. 40% of the first-year medical students and 25% of the residents said they believe black people have thicker skin. And 7% of all students and residents surveyed said black people have less sensitive nerve endings. The doctors in training who believe these myths, and they are myths, were less likely to prescribe adequate pain medication to black patients. Again, we just talked about this a couple of weeks ago. This is also why black people didn't suffer so much under the opioid crisis this country is still in, because doctors assume we're there for, we're drug seekers.
Yeah,
and
they almost let Serena Williams die, didn't they? Because they didn't think she was in the amount of pain that she claimed to be.
Yeah. So again, there's a whole lot more there, and I'm going to tell you to go ahead and read the rest of it because it's a very good piece. It's a longer piece, like considerably longer than that. So,
and I want to extend off of this, so let me slide my soapbox back in real quick.
Hey, it's here for a reason.
So here's what I'm going to say to this topic too, because I cannot recall specifically which book it is, so make sure you dip into your Libby app and either way listen or read both of these books. It's either in the new Jim Crow or it's in Stamped from the Beginning, where it goes through the historical, and I'm pretty sure it might be Stamped from the Beginning, the Ibram X. Kendi book, where it's talking about how this sort of categorizing of black people was to benefit slave masters and to also place them in homes. So then they said, oh, this one's actually a Kenyan, and Kenyans are good at blank, or they're physically designed for this activity. So we put them there. Whereas Nigerians, they're not so good in the sun, so they work in the house. Like, it was to isolate the groups. Yeah. And then these were designed by, huge shocker, spoiler alert, the founding fathers of America. So I'm pretty sure it was Thomas Jefferson who had a strong hand, and his funding, and I'm pretty sure it's him, again, it could be wrong, but fucking read the books, you'll find out. And the purpose was to identify the inferiority of the black man and the resilience of the black man, because it was, these are worker animals, not people. Another way to dehumanize the black man. And so it's like, this is ingrained, but it also goes way beyond that too, where it's like, this takes you back to, like, before America was even born. But we still hold on to these. And so these books talk about how, like, this is still an issue. Like, those metrics, those scales, those thought processes of, oh yeah, so this is a black person coming in. They don't need this much. They just need that much. Why? And it's the only group that has a subset category for dosages and analysis. Whereas, like, me, brown person, I get put in the other category. You know what I mean? And so it's fucking wild how we allow certain things that are archaic. Like, as much as we claim to be moving forward as a global society, we really hold on to some old dumb shit. Like, for real.
Dude, people, I don't think people fully grasp the idea of what chattel slavery was. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We were literally considered pack animals. We were considered, and of course, certain animals were, okay, well, this animal is good for plowing, and this animal is good for this and that. That's what they thought of us. They didn't think of us as people, and a lot of them still don't. And when you lay down a metric like that, there's no getting out of that. You know what I'm saying? We fucked. So yeah. Go do the knowledge, people. It's out there to be had, and you might grow as a person from it. This one right here, I feel like is affecting is more affecting on one level to black people, but also to my homie Balls Rock, who still smoke noops. FDA poised to ban menthol cigarettes this week, experts predict. This is by Erica Edwards over at
they added blunt rollers, blunt wraps to that.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Over Erica Edwards over at NBC. The FDA appears likely to move to ban menthol in cigarettes this week, a step experts say has been years in the making and could have significant positive impact on the health of black Americans. And Balls Rock, who still smokes Newports. Again, I just want to point that out to you. The FDA's decision would not ban menthol immediately, but rather kick off the rulemaking process to do so, which could take years. The winds are definitely in our favor, said Del Monte Jefferson, executive director of the Center for Black Health and Equity, citing both the decades of data that show that the cooling flavor in cigarettes make it easier to start smoking, combined with the current cultural momentum toward improving the lives of black Americans. When inhaled, menthol produces a cooling sensation in the throat, reducing the harsh taste of cigarettes and the irritation of nicotine. The vast majority of black smokers, 85%, use menthol cigarettes, and black men and women are much less likely than white Americans to be diagnosed with lung cancer at an earlier, potentially more treatable stage. We just talked about it, people. Black men have the highest lung cancer death rate in the country.
Oh.
When you combine high rates of smoking with systemic racism in healthcare systems, you have a tremendous health disparity, said Erica Swart, National Assistant Vice President for Advocacy at the American Lung Association. Both the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the National Institutes of Health recently announced plans to address structural racism in healthcare. The FDA faces a Thursday court-ordered deadline to respond to a citizen petition sent to the agency in 2013 urging it to ban menthol as a flavor in cigarettes. When the FDA failed to act at the time, two groups, the African American Tobacco Control Leadership Council and the Action on Smoking and Health, sued. It's possible a decision could come earlier than Thursday, and when the lawsuit only mentions regular cigarettes, it's unclear whether e-cigarettes and other tobacco products that contain menthol would be affected. Again, there's some more to that story that you like, so feel free to go read. That's Erica Edwards over at NBC. The FDA poised to ban menthol cigarettes with this week, experts said. You talking about they banning blunt wraps?
Mm-hmm. That's on the list too.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. You know, this what this says to me, this is like when like a bunch of white people were like, fuck Obamacare, we don't want Obamacare, like we don't want like black and brown people to have Obamacare, not realizing that like they're fucking themselves over with insurance. Yeah. On my end, poor white people love menthols. And so now they ain't gonna have menthols either. So they need to look at this. They're getting screwed over too. They're not realizing they're giving themselves the okie doke. Damn, you fucking up.
I'm just going to use the next stimulus check I get, and I'm not even a smoker, and buy all the menthol cigarettes I can.
Mm-hmm. Keep them bitches in the deep freezer, just hustling loosies. Although, I mean, that could get you killed by cops, but again,
choked out,
soak it in air freshener.
Do they sell menthols in Canada?
I don't think and every time I've been to Canada, I don't think I've ever seen anybody smoking up there.
Oh,
and I ain't gonna lie to you, I stay in some frou-frou ass, shishi ass areas when I'm up in fucking T-Dot. So I don't hang in the hood in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. I am in fancy ass spots. So it may be happening, but I ain't seeing it.
Yeah, because I'm like, maybe I got to do some like, over the border contraband or something like that, and be like, I'm gonna go down to Tijuana, and cop some menthols, bring them back.
Menthol is apparently the last allowable flavor in cigarettes. They're not, saying in general, all other flavors got banned forever ago. Mm-hmm. So the fact they just let menthol walk is wild.
So
apparently
people still smoke cloves.
God, I hadn't had a clove in years. A clove or a beady.
Damn, beady. Fuck.
My nigga, no. You about that right. You're the right age. You're the right age.
That's probably one of the reasons they're banning blunt wraps then. Because they come in an immense amount of flavors.
Yeah, extra autumn, very like Fruity Jones. So This one is for Gabe.
Oh.
It's so up your alley, sir. Alaska State Senator banned from airline for continued refusal to follow mask rules, official says. Alaska Airlines has banned an Alaska State Senator for refusing to follow mask requirements. We have notified Senator Laura Reinbold that she is not permitted to fly with us for her continued refusal to comply with employee instructions regarding the current mask policy, spokesman Tim Thompson told the Anchorage Daily News on Saturday, adding that the suspension was effective immediately. Oh, this is from the AP, so they don't give an author. Reinbold, forgive me, a Republican of Eagle River, said she had not been notified of the ban and that she hoped to be on an Alaska Airlines flight in the near future. Last week, Reinbold was recorded in Juneau International Airport arguing with Alaska Airlines staff about mask policy. A video posted on social media appeared to show airline staff telling Reinbold her mask must cover her nose and mouth. Reinbold told the newspaper that had been inquiring about a mask exemption with uptight employees at the counter. I was reasonable with Alaska Airline employees, she said, adding that she was able to board the flight to Anchorage. Reinbold has been a vocal opponent of COVID-19 mitigation measures and has repeatedly objected to Alaska Airlines' mask policy, which was enacted before the federal government's mandate this year. Last year, she referred to Alaska Airlines staff as mask bullies after being asked by flight attendants to wear a mask aboard a flight. The newspaper reported after the incident that she reportedly sent a cake to some flight attendants bearing the inscription, "I'm sorry if I offended you." Alaska Airlines has banned over 500 people. Thompson said the length of Reinbold's ban will be determined by a review. It wasn't really known how Reinbold, who was in South Central Alaska, this weekend, would be able to get to Juneau, where the legislative session resumes Monday. No other airline has scheduled flights between Anchorage and Juneau, and a ferry trip could take several days. Lawmakers can participate in committee meetings by teleconference, but cannot vote on the House or Senate floor remotely under current procedures.
Only thing I heard from that story was that cake is a vehicle for Republican propaganda. So, down with cake.
Fuck that bitch. She ain't gonna be rolling. And that's it. That'll work. I'll stop it right there. That'll fill the thing.
It's so insane, just like how wearing a mask is such a divisive item. Yeah. Like it really is. Like it's not that bad. It's not that hard. And people were like wearing masks prior. You know, like in workplaces, like places where things were like people just did it, and it was like not a thing. And now you wear a mask, and it's like you're the fucking worst person in the world. And it's like, come on, just relax. You know,
like just chill, B. It is super not that deep.
Yeah, because it's not like I'm saying like wear like a fucking full bodysuit and like be cocooned up. Like, no, just over the nose, please.
I think they just want to be difficult just to be difficult. You know, it's just like how dare you tell me what to do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because people like to like to throw around the Constitution and fucking Bill of Rights and shit all the time.
And only Jesus can tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Only God can judge me, nigga.
Which I like to respond with, "Oh, so you believe in magicians? I got you.
Yeah, and the funny part is like, other countries are doing well, and I mean, not even like countries that we wouldn't even want to listen to. Like, Australia is doing well. I mean, we respect a crocodile hunter. Why not? I don't
know shit.
It's a whole little show about Bendy and her baby. No.
Yeah, I was about to say, R.I.P. Steve Irwin got that stingray to the chest. Damn.
You was shooting for alligators when it was stingrays the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to do just a tidbit of Ohio news, and I thought this one was fun. So we're going to wrap it up with two fun ones. Or right, cool. One fun one like, word? Okay, So this is the fun one in Ohio. It's an Ohio story. Food and Wine ranks Ohio 9th best pizza state in America.
Oh, nice. We're in the top 10.
This is just from the Nexstar Media Wire. So again, no strap, no headline, No byline, forgive me. It might come as a surprise, but Food and Wine thinks Ohio pizza is pretty good. 9th out of 50 states good, to be exact. The editors at Food and Wine recently published their own list of the best pizza states in America, and New York, while still earning a favorable review, didn't finish in first place.
Listen,
New Jersey is currently the best pizza state in the country, according to Food and Wine editor, who made special note of Jersey City's Rasa and bread and salt restaurants for their glorious showcase of pizza. Wow. The Miami Valley also got a shout out from David Lindell, senior editor at Food and Wine. Papa's Pizza Palace in Miamisburg and Joe's Pizzeria in Dayton were all recommended by the critic.
Oh, Dayton's not far.
Pizza-wise, this is a balkanized state, as you will find. Each city and region very much into their own style. The other great thing about Ohio is that most of these styles remain a complete mystery to the outside world, said David Lanzell, senior editor at Food and Wine. Let's run down the top 10 pizza spots. We'll do it. I'll do it from the bottom to the top. Number 10, Missouri, which has St. Louis style pizza. So I'm hip.
What is
Number
St.
9,
Louis
Ohio
style pizza?
It's in the vein of Detroit style, but let me give you just an exact St.
Yeah, because that's kind of what I was wondering too. Is like, how do you guys do your pizza out there? Like, are you like deep dish? Are you thin crust? Are you like sauce, cheese, topping, sauce, cheese? Like,
I know they're not talking about Ohio Valley pizza.
Well, maybe I'm still harsh on Ohio Valley pizza because my wife was like, you're a little harder on it than I remember being. Like, I didn't like it, but like as it was described, I'll describe it to you right now. So they put they bake the crust with with the sauce and a little bit of cheese, and then they pull it out of the oven hot, and as it's hot, they put the cold toppings on the cheese and the pepperoni and whatever toppings you want on it. They put it on there cold, and it's like
a pizza McDLT.
It's like that. Yeah, it's a pizza McDLT.
That's weird. So then, like, your pepperoni's cold?
Some of it.
It's
lukewarm?
I guess it's lukewarm because it's warmed up by the hot crust.
Yeah, because I'm like, so you don't get crispy pepperoni?
No.
Don't put that on us. That is down in the Ohio Valley, which is far south of us. We don't do that shit.
That's weird.
Well, maybe you guys gotta try out. You guys don't trust my taste all the time. Maybe you guys gotta try that and tell me if it's bad or not.
That shit look like absolute trash. Why would I waste my money on that?
Yeah, and also
I wouldn't.
as a weekly consumer of this podcast, I'm starting to feel that Gabe's opinions are very valid, though there may be an individual in his household who gets him to question his opinions.
I would agree with that.
And that person may be in the error zone. Just saying, not trying to step on toes, but just as a listener, when Gabe says things, I'm like, yeah, duh. And then I hear the other thing, and I'm like, that other person, they're tripping. So,
well, remember, as Anthony pointed out, talking about relationships or sometimes like Yelp reviews, you always mention the bad, but you don't mention the good. Me and my wife got a great relationship.
Is she a listener?
No.
She don't listen to our show at all.
Anything nice I say about her is
in person.
Yeah. No, and that's what I'm saying. I try to keep it neutral. I didn't say names. You're the one who put her out here.
Well, come on.
Anyway, okay, so St. Louis style pizza, I was wrong. It's actually super thin. St. Louis style pizza, the definitive characteristics of St. Louis style pizza are thin, cracker-like crust made without yeast, the common but not universal use of Provel, a processed cheese, which is a mixture of provolone and mozzarella.
Oh yeah, I saw that on TV. That's right.
And the pizza is cut into squares or rectangles. So what's that one pizza spot? Donato's.
Donato's does that shit.
Yeah, Donato's thin is would be a St. Louis style pizza. Number 9, Ohio, and again we got pizza all. It's kind of all over the place in Ohio. You never know what you're gonna get. We got a lot of Greek pizza spots up here too. You might end up with a pizza with gyro meat on it. It's how it go down. Massachusetts, I've had really good pizza in trips to Boston, so I can respect that. Number 7, Pennsylvania. I eat at a pizza spot called, what is that pizza spot Vanessa takes me to? Oh my God. It's a pizza spot we go to.
It's a hash brown pizza.
In Pittsburgh that bangs. And so I have had good pizza in Pennsylvania. Number 6, California. And my man Chauvin, I mean, you know better than I mean, do you feel like you've had a good pizza situation popping out west?
So, yeah, I actually was wondering where we were going to fall out on this list because I feel, okay, I'm going to say this. This is very, like, get out of my land type of conversation we're about to have. A lot of people transplant to California and then be like, everything in California fucking sucks. It's better back when I lived in fucking Pennsylvania. And I'm like, then leave. Like, feel free. Like, knock yourself out. Now, the problem that California runs into is because nobody's from California that's in California. And I know that's a hyperbole, but it's like, it really feels that way. And so we have a lot of everything, but not a lot of good of everything. Mm. But if you look, if you break away from the chains and even if the chain is like 3 or 4 stores and go to like the single spot, then it's popping. So okay. I'm going to throw out a spot that is my favorite pizza that I've had. And it's a spot down in Long Beach called Domenico's. Now, Domenico's does a ground pepperoni pizza. So every fucking inch of that pizza is like covered in pepperoni. So if you like pepperoni, it's the hit.
Is that
the crust?
Is that the one where the woman owns it? The woman owns a couple of them. And
there's only one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like not even a chain. It's just like one spot. There actually might be a second, but I don't think so.
I think it's a documentary on there where Roy Choi and she hires like all ex-cons.
Oh damn! No, I got to peep. Well, I'll say probably not because this one's down by the beach.
Okay.
So it's in the. So I would say there's no ex-cons. It's like young white guys. It's all beach kids. No, but it's like the food there is very authentic, but that pizza fucking hits. And it's like, you can tell it's not like cheap processed cheese. Like it's got a good, or you know what I mean? It's not like rubbery. Like it's got a good texture to it. That pepperoni is straight through. It's delicious. The crust, not too thick, not too thin. Like that one is my fave. And at that too, is good cold. It's good reheated. So Domenico's Pizza is my hit. Like that's my jam out there. Nice. But I've also been spending a lot of time too, just for anyone listening, like get out to your neighborhoods. Like get out, try that mom and pop shop. That's kind of been my goal lately and through this whole pandemic era is like, if I'm going to shop somewhere, I really try to hit the local one-offs. I got to get back to my community. I got to invest back into like, I need my tax money to go back into my city. And I want these people to thrive. So I've been hitting up all the local like pizza places and just finding like that one's good. That one's not that great, whatever. But at least like try your city, like eat your city up.
For sure. Number 5, Michigan, Detroit style. We all know about it. So yeah. Number 4, Illinois. The various Chicago style pizzas. There's actually, you know what I'm saying? Yes, the Chicago deep dish is one way, but there's also a Chicago thin crust that apparently is like what people in Chicago really fuck with. So,
the deep dish is for tourists.
If we get the C2E2 shit situated, we got to go, eat some pizza, and we got to go hit a Portillo's and get a cake shake.
I got Portillo's down the street.
Damn, I want a Portillo so bad because I actually want a cake shake, a whole slice of cake in a shake.
Have you not had a cake shake?
No, we don't have that up here, man.
Hey, delicious. Like so good. Like and I know this is contradictory to my whole cake thing, but it's a shake. Nope. It's almost like a ice cream cake.
Would you fuck it?
Would I? I did.
Number 3, New York. So I mean, I've had pizza in Brooklyn. I've had New York style slices. The big foldy joints. Tasty, a fine slice. I mean, literally nothing to write home about. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? But maybe I just didn't have the right, situation, and who knows.
I've always been against New York pizza ever since Do the Right Thing. I can't do it.
Number 2, Connecticut, and I have heard of Connecticut style pizza. I don't know the actual.
I haven't.
Yeah. You saying like it's like pizza with like with clam sauce.
I was joking. What?
Like I know T's about to look it up. I think it's like pizza with clam sauce.
It says New Haven style pizza, but it actually is New Haven, Connecticut, and it's thin pizza, coal fire Neapolitan is how they cook it up, and I think that's just your general crust situation. But they do indeed a clam pie is one of the big deal styles. New Haven white clam pizza is one of the ones that like is like just the one. So weird. I mean, I know it's weird, but also it's not weird that I happen to know all these pizza spots. And I've never had Connecticut style pizza. My time in Connecticut was only like a couple of hours, so I didn't kick it in Connecticut. I was just there long enough to check it off the list. And of course, number one is.
Oh, go ahead.
Number one is, of course, New Jersey. New Jersey was the rat's ass of states I've ever been to. It was a terrible state. No knocking people. If you from New Jersey, respect due to you. But I've been to New Jersey from two angles. I came in from Illy, from Philadelphia, and I was like, what the fuck is going on across this border? Because as soon as you cross the border from into Pennsylvania, into New Jersey, it was a hot-ass mess. And then I hit the other way from basically just across into Jersey, going into New York, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I literally saw a rat crossing the street in New Jersey when I was headed to New York. I was like, what is happening here?
And you were in his way.
I really kind of, I mean, respect to it. That's his home. I was a guest. Really. So
you're the tourist.
Well, three things. One, the name of that pizza place in L.A. is Pizziana. So I was wrong.
Okay.
Two, the best vacation I ever been on so far in my life was in New Jersey. I like New Jersey, and part of but driving there is terrible. But one of the coolest things I seen in New Jersey was I seen a bunch of vultures eating a deer. Thought that was pretty sweet.
Damn, that's rugged. I don't even know. I was gonna say that I've had like a clam pizza. There's a bakery out here called Butter and Cream, and there's like 3 locations. One of the locations during the day they do like the main baking for the other locations, and then in the afternoon, evening they make pizzas, and pizza's really good. And they have one that it's like a clam chowder pizza. It's got fucking like potatoes on it, but it's not all soupy though. Like if you can imagine like the essence of clam chowder, like it's got the chowder, it's got the flavor, it's got like the potato pieces, all that stuff on there. That shit was fucking phenomenal. Like so that if you're out here on the West Coast too, good bakery, Butter and Cream. There's one out in Seal Beach, Huntington Beach, Mission Viejo. And get yourself a pizza in the evening too. They do they do a short rib pizza too.
Oh.
Hot dog, man.
Ooh.
Short rib. You know what I've really one thing I learned in this pandemic that I had and fell in love with was things with short rib on them. Short ribs are the fucking move. I had an Eggs Benedict fucking short ribs. And I was like, damn, this is wild.
It's a place here called Pizza 216. I'm assuming it's still here. And they made a pierogi pizza. God, man, that pizza was so good.
Pierogi pizza would hit.
It's like they use kind of like a buttery potato as the sauce. Then it's just like cheese, and then like grilled or sautéed onions. And is it like a little sour cream? I know it comes with bacon, but I'll never get bacon on it. And but man, that pizza was so good.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
I'm looking at it now. It doesn't actually come with bacon. Maybe it did, but it don't know more.
Okay, maybe we changed their mind.
They still seem to be open. So respect due to. I'm glad Pizza 216 has still made it even after.
I might have to run down there
all
one
of
day.
this.
That pizza was so fucking good.
I had Angelo's potato pizza very recently, and it's kind of in that same vein. They use potato as the it's the sauce and cheese on top of it. Very tasty. And I don't really fuck with Angelo's like that because they use too much cornmeal for my taste.
I remember you saying that.
Cornmeal? I think that's panko at the bottom.
No, it is panko. Either way, it's too much of it. So it's like I get it. You don't want it to stick to the pan, but bro, there's got to be a middle ground.
That's what it is. That's what
places be heavy-handed with that stuff
because they use panko as opposed to cornmeal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't like to have to dust my damn pizza off before I eat it. You feel me?
I mean, you eat Captain Crunch, you might as well just have some panko pizza. It's okay.
Now is dessert pizza?
I don't fucking know, Gabe, man. Quit trying to shit start.
With some hard silence. I'm not trying to start shit. I just want to know if dessert pizza is pizza.
Now, see,
well, I think, Gabe, for you and I, people who are open to change and equality, I think that we would accept like all pizzas, and this is not on some all pizzas matter type of shit. I think some are more better than others.
That's what it sounded like.
But what I'm saying is you have to have acceptance in your heart and in your life to say that you think that things are fair and balanced. And so you accept the dessert pizza like you would accept the ice cream cake.
See,
yes,
so I think that's where we are.
Treats a pizza.
This is one of the reasons why. I
think they're going to add those to the coexist bumper stickers, like an ice cream cake and dessert pizza.
This is one of the reasons. Like I respect everything Gabe says, but this is one of the reasons. Like I don't ever try to be like, oh, this might be your wife is a little bit too harsh, because he would just be pulling stuff out of his hat from nowhere. I'm like. Of course, your wife is trying to peter you down when you just be like, just come up with, dessert pizza ain't pizza. Like, dessert pizza is trying way too hard. It's like, what's a good analogy? Like, when you try to break up with a girl, she try to offer you something like, right? You're like, no, let's just stop. Right now, please.
Damn, he called it like a heart breakup.
Like, stop. We don't have to do this. This is just a clean break. You don't have to put marshmallows and chocolate on top of me. Listen, stop. We had a good run. You don't have to put cinnamon and sugar on me. I know you got extra dough in the back. We don't got to do this.
But do we got to put like potatoes on a pizza?
But that's different though.
Yeah.
It's the difference between...
Good point.
I mean, we just said it's delicious.
It's the difference...
It's the same shit.
No, it's not. Because dessert pizza, especially... Okay, so... it's this thing I've been thinking about getting my son for his birthday, where it's like an ice cream pie. And it's like different kind of crust. And it's like ice cream. And I'm like, okay. But with dessert pizza, you're just trying to recycle what you already got. Now, if they started from the beginning and they made like, I'm making a dessert pizza with a graham base or like a different kind of base, I would be like, oh, okay. But no, y'all using the same dough y'all already got and y'all just putting stuff on it.
That's not true, because sometimes the base is a big ass, like when 31 Flavors used to make it back in the day, the big base was a giant ass cookie.
That's not always the case. I'm just saying with dessert pizza.
Also, they make it a point to just, when they did have it, to call this shit a frozen novelty. They knew what that shit was. They called it what it was, and they kept the motherfucking
frozen
moving.
Joke.
Yeah. You
Last
can't
story.
be like that.
Last story, and I think it's it's gonna be one of the ones where y'all gonna be like, word. It's gonna be good people at Vice World News. Ruby Lot Lavinia wrote this. Unexploded grenade found in German forest. Actually just a butt plug. Police said the rubber grenade's proximity to lubricant and condoms helped verify the findings.
Oh, okay.
An object thought to be an unexploded World War II era hand grenade found in Woodland in Germany was actually just a rubber sex toy, police have said. Earlier this week, a jogger discovered what she thought was a grenade in the Bavarian forest near the city of Passau in the south of Germany and called police. A police bomb squad was called to the forest in Hauserberg, but they quickly deemed the item to be non-threatening. The bag the grenade was in also contained lubricant, 2 unopened condoms, and a USB cable. Objects which help bomb disposal experts to reach their conclusion.
So it was a vibrating butt plug?
That's what to say.
The condition
Hook
the
up your
objects
phone.
The condition the objects were found in implied that they had been in the forest for a while, police said. A search on the internet then confirmed the suspicion. There are actually sex toys in the form of hand grenades, and that was what it was all about here, said police told Vice World News in an emailed statement. Due to the advanced decomposition of the bag, the objects must have been there for a long time. How these items got there and why they got there can only be guessed at. Police in Germany are often called to deal with undetonated explosive 75 years on from World War II. In December 2020, 13,000 residents in a neighborhood in Frankfurt were evacuated due to the discovery of a British bomb. The fact that 75 years later, you still got to worry about World War II ordnance.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Well, that's happened to me a couple of times, so I really can't blame anybody. Because I remember one time I was walking on the beach, and I thought I seen like a gem, like sticking out of the sand. It was a butt plug. And then, I was walking near that same beach, and I'm like, what is this foxtail doing, like, sticking out of the ground? It was a butt plug. So, I get it.
Huh.
It happens. You can't be so
maybe we definitely for sure we kick it in different spots. But I've never just been out, like, kicking it and then just like, fucking butt plugs out here again. Like, no.
I mean, see, I guess that's one of the...
Is that a Ohio thing? Like, you guys, is that like... Is that where, like, when you search, like, porn, or, like, most popular porn in a region, and, like, for you guys, it's butt plugs?
Ohio Valley butt plugs. Yes.
I thought ours was like mom or something weird.
Nah,
not that mom is weird. Not the kink shame.
No, mom's weird.
I mean, if that's just it.
Tell the truth, shame
Don't be yucking people's youngs.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum. They want to watch a mom get down.
They get freaky too. They need love.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't ever have the volume on, so I don't know what kind of stuff I'll be watching. It just be, she thick, okay.
You don't listen for the dialogue?
You don't want a story? You want to know how they got there?
Yeah. Did, like, the kid not finish his homework, and now she's got to discipline him? Like, dad's away on a vacation? I mean, you got to know how they got there.
It's funny.
It's a whole process.
I was on Reddit the other day, and it was this one where, like it said, it was just like it was across the screen. It said something about, I guess the angle was, okay, I'll just say what the screen said. It said, this is my mom and my bully. He's punishing my mom now.
What?
I was just like,
that's how the mom gets the bully to stop picking on him.
Yes, sir.
Right, exactly.
That's so weird.
And the bully's probably less angry now. He's like, you know what? You're all right. Let's be friends. Let's go eat some apple pie. Let's take the foil off it.
Well, that was our selection of news items, and so as we shall proceed and continue to rock the mic, we just jump over to my man. And first up, as always, is Tatum. What's going down this week in your neck of the woods?
What happened this week? This has been like a relatively calm week. I did get my second dose of vaccine.
Okay.
I wasn't. I didn't experience as many symptoms this week. Just like a sore ass arm. That's just now feeling better. So, I mean, that was pretty much it. This has been like a very uneventful week for me.
I like that you get every now and again you just get a smooth, nothing pulling you left or right, just like we good. That's nice.
We deserve it.
Yes, I do deserve a nice regular week. I know like Mother's Day is coming up. Have you guys got all the mothers in your life the gifts that you're going to get?
I did buy a present today. It should be shipped and arrive by Wednesday.
I kind of feel like, especially, in these pandemic days, like just the normal shit that you usually buy for people, it's like, what's the use? You can't really buy your wife a purse if she ain't going nowhere.
Oh shit, that's like in a week. I'm the worst at these things. I never remember birthdays. I don't remember like stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a week from Sunday.
So every week I get in trouble, or every year I get in trouble.
We don't bang with the parental days around this spot. I mean, sometimes I get my mom some shit. Me and my sister will hit me up and be like, "Okay, we'll be getting Ma this year," and I'll be like, "All right, we do this, we do that," and so we kind of make shit happen. But I ain't even thought about it, not even a little bit. I will probably end up ordering my mother some Omaha steaks again and just keep motherfucking moving because it's so breezy. I order some steaks, they show up at her door, boom, box
Oh
of
shit!
meat.
I didn't get my own mom something.
Do you? Do those come in dry ice?
So concentrated on the wife.
I don't know because again I ordered them to a person who's multiple states
That's
away.
true. That's true.
I can confirm that yes, they do because at a school where I was working, and maybe I need to get in my FedEx debacles because FedEx be on some bullshit and likes to just leave packages anywhere. They delivered a box of Omaha steaks to my school once, and then the person who contacted us who had ordered them, he was like, you know what, no worries, they already sent me another box, you can divvy it up amongst your staff, and they were in dry ice.
Nice.
Yeah, FedEx be on some straight nonsense all the time. Like,
100%.
Like they delivered like stuff like 2 doors down, or not even that, like way more than that. And then luckily the person actually brought my packages down. And like if like I got this app called Shop that pulls like all the deliveries that are coming to your house and pretty much like tell you when it's coming. If FedEx don't feel like delivering that day, they just won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I truly, it took me when I ordered that Tony Hawk last year, the fancy version that came with the deck. They delivered that shit to the back of the house, but didn't tell me. And I hit them up like, "Yo, bro, I see you walking by my camera. Where the fuck is this package at?
Yeah.
Why are you walking past my fucking porch?" And so I finally had to go in and set some shit up in FedEx that said, "Packages coming to this house, comes to the front porch. I don't give a fuck who it is. It comes to the front porch and you make that shit happen as such." And yeah, I don't fuck with FedEx, man. FedEx is kind of on some trash shit, man.
Yeah.
Hate to be that way, you know what I'm saying? But they really be on some bullshit.
Let me tell these two stories real quick. So the first one is, my son's birthday's coming up in July. I was like, I'm going to get him his own PlayStation 5. Boom. Copped it. Easy. Get a notification. PlayStation's been delivered. I'm like, no, it hasn't. Nothing on the Ring doorbell. My son actually is in front of the big window in our house, facing right outside. I go, did a truck show up? He goes, no. Send my wife outside. She's looking around. Nothing. I spend like about a week or so fighting with FedEx. They give me this bullshit. Technically, it was delivered just to a house on a different street. So then I said, well, then that's not technically delivered. They're like, no, we left it at a place. So maybe if you could just go knock on all your neighbors' door. Come on. I'm like, that street is 2 streets over in a different direction.
That's not a neighbor.
Why don't you just send the driver? Yeah, we can't do that. Once it's out of his possession, we are not responsible anymore. I said, but he can be irresponsible and just leave it wherever, and you technically call it delivered. I go, how about you just have the driver come and then point to the house? Oh, he doesn't recall. Okay, so he recalls he left it at a different house on a different street, but now all of a sudden he's got like fucking amnesia. Walmart came through, refunded me. Boom, we're good. Now, flip side. Just this past week, we've been trying to really keep technology fresh with our students with all distance learning and everything, but we've been having a lot of issues with Chromebook chargers. So we bought like a box of 30 chargers. So we get a notification from our district office, hey, the chargers came, close out the order. We didn't receive it. Now FedEx just let us know they delivered it. I go, okay. We go through the whole thing. We check the order. Delivered 2 cities over. Someone signed for it.
What the fuck?
Now, the way my district is designed, they're actually really small, like pocket cities. So my school district covers all of them. And so we're like, we're this city. That's that city. So what's up? And they were like, yeah, we don't, and they gave me the same shit. Technically, it was delivered. So if you want to just find out where that place was, I was like, are you kidding me? So like within about a month span, they did the same fucking move twice. And I was like, you guys just leave shit and then just call it delivered? Luckily, it ended up being delivered to another school within my district. So So coincidentally, our 2 tech guys were having lunch together, and one dude goes, yeah, we ordered 6 chargers, we got 30. And so my guy goes, nah, fuck that, those are ours, look at the label. So then he went back and he's like, oh yeah, these actually do belong to your school. He's like, but we're not even close to you, so why are they here? That's because FedEx on some bullshit. Now, my homeboy who does FedEx Express, he says that's the move. He's like, FedEx Express is a small truck, very individual, hand-to-hand. He's like, we're a separate company from Ground.
FedEx ground.
He's
FedEx
like, we don't
ground.
fuck with ground. So when I called him and was like, what do I do? He's like, is it ground? And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, you're never going to see that.
Yeah.
He's like, if you have to pay and your only option's FedEx, he's like, go with Express. He's like, don't fuck with ground.
Yep.
And that's coming from someone with FedEx.
FedEx Express in our neck of the woods comes from Middleburg Heights. FedEx Ground comes from Richfield, Ohio, is where the Cavs used to play back in the day. It's like 2 different cities, 2 different operations, 2 different everything. Don't fucking FedEx around. If you got options, take advantage of them. Fuck FedEx. That's a relatively easy kind of situation. Well, I'm proud. I'm glad you got your shot, man. Everybody now on Team SKiM has had both shots, and that would mean, assuming everybody is clear on, let me roll to it, Sunday, May 16th, is our 8th anniversary as a show. And assuming that is not some other damn holiday or birthday or somebody else's, maybe we can link up and do some
I think I'm out of town.
and do some shit in person. But I mean, you'll find out. And if not, your ass won't be there.
Damn it! I'm not gonna miss. I missed the last anniversary. That's not fair.
I mean, it's not on me, man.
I know it's not on you. I know. I'll just be sad.
If you need to substitute one Latino for another,
maybe we can have.
Yeah, god damn it, I'm out of town.
Where you gonna be at?
My wife's cousin graduates. We're real close to them. She was the maid of honor at our wedding.
But where's that at? You don't want to tell us?
In Indiana.
What's in Indiana we can do? How far is it?
Some Portillo's there.
That's
Go
true.
get a cake shake.
So how far is it, Gabe?
Purdue. I know I'm not being helpful right now.
See, I told you. Told you. It ain't always his wife.
It's Purdue. It's Purdue. She's getting her doctorate. She's gonna be a doctor.
Like Bill
Oh
Cosby.
yeah, I'm a doctor.
damn, Bill Cosby.
That's an honorary doctorate. She actually earned hers. Well, not that an honorary doctorate's not earned.
He was mixing up shit. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
He was giving out
Mixing up
dosages.
formulas.
I'm trying to figure where Purdue is at in relation to any of this shit. Let's take a peek. Purdue is north and west of Indianapolis. And if I slap the old directions on the old jaunt here, Purdue is about 6 hours away from here.
oh,
Yeah.
that's not terrible.
You take the northern trek, you can get to the Shah. But we'll figure it out. And
Something to think about.
yeah, we'll switch to. I mean, did she graduate on that day? I'm not trying to fuck your whole family situation up by planning about that shit.
I have to talk to the missus.
All right. Yeah, you have the needed conversations. We'll work out our own on this end, and we'll figure something out.
No, I don't want to miss this anniversary.
Thought to the good. I'm actually going to not slide to Gabe quite yet. We're gonna jump over to my man Chaufie.
Yeah, man.
And I want to holler at you about this damn 68 Chevelle and low riding, and in general, I just kind of want to know because I want to know.
Yeah, man.
Chaufie posted this picture the other day. Well, he hit me up and asked, "Did I see it?" And I was like, "No, I ain't see it. Where you put it at?" And he's like, "Oh, it's on it's in these streets somewhere, Twitter or Instagram." And I was like, "Damn, that bitch is clean as fuck." And look at this shit. That shit is so gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Jeez Louise. It's so pretty.
It really is. Yeah, let me give you the details on this. Okay,
Please do.
Yeah, so this car has been like in the family since day one. This is one of those things where my dad's aunt bought it like off the lot, and like factory lot, like straight up. Like she picked it out, picked the color. It's all like this is what she wanted. She didn't drive, so she just like always sat in the back, and then like would just have someone drive her around. But she just loved the car. Eventually, she gave the car to my dad, and so then when my dad was young, he drove it around, and it had hydraulics. It was on spokes. I'm talking, he had like the visor and the spot. Like if you think of like a true like 70s era like lowrider. That's what this shit was, man. He was hitting switches on it. It was like amazing. And then got garaged for a little while, came out of the garage, and then when I was a teen and started driving, this used to be my car. And so then I would drive it around, but I kind of wanted less lowrider, more kind of urban hot rod. You know what I mean? Like the somewhere in between. And but man, that fucking car like was just like the best. Like I had it everywhere. It was like amazing. I love the way it handles, like everything. I still got the my dad had like a mini steering wheel. It's like a chain one and stuff like that. So I got the chain steerer on there just to let you know we're out here just fully being Mexican. And but it was just like awesome. And then but then when I moved down to Long Beach, like from where my parents live, I was in college. You know, everyone in college is just broke. So I was like, I can't afford this car because there is always something leaking, dripping, needs to be fixed, and I'm not a very good mechanic. You know, so I was just like, when I was with my dad, who is a mechanic, I could be like, hey, it's making this sound. All right, fucking, let's fix it. You know, boom, easy. So it's out in the garage for like years and then just deteriorated and rusted and fell apart and wouldn't start. And within all this, I've been with my wife now for about maybe 22 years or something like that. We've been together a long time. And so in that time, she's never actually seen the car in motion. So she used to always give me shit because she'd be like, what's your favorite car? And I'm like, 68 Chevelle. She's like, that stupid ass old car? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, why? And I'm like, just the way it handles, the way it moves. It's like it's smooth, but with power, you know? Yeah. And she'd always just be talking wild shit on that car. So then when I picked it up this Saturday, I had her drop me off. Boom, she left me. And then I was fucking dying later on in the day. I pull up at the house. Everyone gets in the car. We go for a little drive and whatnot. And my wife is like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but like on like Saturday mornings, there's this coffee shop down the way. Everyone gets their cars together and kind of does like a little hangout meet and greet thing. And I was like, And then she's like, hey, there's this other place like on Sunday evenings. They do like some cocktails. You pull up, bring your car. And I'm like, And then she's like, oh, and I found these like 2 outfits. I think if I wear them, I'll look really cute in the car. And I was like, okay, hold up. I just went through like 22 years of telling me this shit ass car, fuck this car is bullshit. Fucking I hate this car. I go, now the car pulls up and you're like, hey, how do I become your fucking lowrider babe on this thing? Like, how am I taking pictures with like my titties out and like, let's put this in the magazines. And she's like, I mean, it's here now, so you might as well love it. I was like, look at you trying to set up events and fucking take photo shoots. You need to relax. This is my car. So now, funny story to all this too is this car is 100% haunted.
Oh.
So you ready for the story?
Carrie?
Yeah. So trip on this. And I actually got a lot of ghost stories. I actually like have seen a ton of things. But used to work on a Navy base. I wasn't in the Navy. I'm not a military person. But it was like the best job to have in high school. This is like 90s, like mid or early 90s. And I was working in one of their big like restaurants. And this shit was tight because you got to think like 92, 93. My shit was making the minimum wage at that job was like $13. So I was balling because back then like minimum wage was like $4 or something like that. So I was good. So I had cash. Anyways, but I would work really late hours. And one day I was coming home, and this is why I mentioned earlier that my dad's aunt didn't drive. She sat in the back to the right. So I get out of work, I'm coming home, and I look in the rearview mirror, and I see like kind of like dark in the back. And I'm like, the fuck is this? But I look back, and I like don't see anything. Then I look up in the rear view again, and now I can see more of a person, a woman, dark hair, and I can remember the dress was like a green floral print. And so then this time I look back again, and she's there, and she's just kind of like staring out the side, and I'm like, whoa, this is fucking wild. But I was only blocks from home, so I'm like, I'm just gonna get home. She ain't bugging me, I ain't bugging her. Fucking, we're good, you know. So then, as my dad's always told me, you never worry about the dead ones, you worry about the live ones, because those are the ones that will fucking kill you. So I was like, okay, let me just get home. So the next day, I tell my mom, I was like, yeah, crazy. I go, I fucking saw a lady like in the car. And my mom was like, yeah, that's some bullshit. And I was like, no, for real, like, check it out. So I go, sitting in the car, she's in the back. And then as I'm telling the story, my dad pops in and he was like, oh, he's like, was the lady backseat on the right? And I was like, yeah. He's like, maybe like a green dress. Maybe it looked like it had polka dots or flowers or something. And I was like, yeah. He's dark hair. And he got into more details. Like, it was a little bit wavy, but like down. And I was like, yeah. He's like, this is my aunt. And I was like, what? And now he hadn't been in the house. He like had just come home. So he hadn't heard the details of the story. I was kind of wrapping it up at that point. And he's like, yeah, every so often she would pop up in there. He's like, I've seen her too. He's like, she just stares out the window. He's like, but when she used to be driven around, that was her favorite thing. Sometimes it wouldn't even be to a destination. It would just be like, hey, let's get around the block. Like, let's cruise around town. And she'd just fucking sit in the, she'd love to just chill. Now, if you've ever been in an old car, they're comfortable as fuck because it's basically driving a sofa, you know? So she just chilled and it was like, wow, this is fucking amazing. But so now I got the car at my house. I'm like super happy to have it. It's one of those, I know it's everything against, but fucking KRS-One said, but you know what? I love my car. I love it. Love's gonna get you. But it brings me so much joy. And then my kids have just been like hyped off of it. My son came through. At first he didn't care either, and then he was like, so how does this work? How does that work? I opened up the hood and it's like, he's like, he's like, I can see the floor. And I'm like, yeah, that's how these engines were. Like, you open your hood now, you can't see the bottom because it's all covers and electronics and shit like that. And he's like, is this safe? And I was like, yeah, dude, like totally, like this is completely safe. He's like, but the fan, like you could see the blades. I'm like, yeah, don't put your hand in it. Like that's all I got to tell you. But yeah, I'm hyped, man. I just got the only things I really need to do. The rims on there right now, like the wheels are super whack. They're basically just like placeholders. Yeah. So I get some new ones. It's got no stereo right now, so I can't be cruising these streets without sound. When my wife first got in the car, because it didn't have a stereo in there, she immediately started singing some like SWV and Light Shade of Brown. I had to ask her to stop.
I fuck with Lighter Shade of Brown. Don't sleep.
But she also like hyper like does it, so it's all nasally and like trying to be like cholo-y. I'm just like, you need to relax. But it's kind of cool because it does bring me back to like one, to just connect with like just being like a kid and all the memories I had in it. Plus, there is something that connects me back to like Southern California Latin culture. You know, like a lot of
and that's really what I want to talk to you about. What's your experience with it, but also what is your? I guess like your family's experience with it. How big a deal is it to you? But how big is the deal is it in general with your people? You know what I'm saying? Is it? I mean, we have seen it in rap videos and stuff for years and years, but I mean, I don't think I've ever gotten the an explanation of it, how it became a thing and why it's so important and so forth,
it's a level of just like showmanship. It's just something to tinker on, to build, to put together, but it does create a community and a culture. So like a lot of my cousins are in lowrider style car clubs, so they got like the old vehicles. Some of them are lowriders, some of them are like the old classic fucking like bomb cars all rounded out and shit like that, the pickup trucks and of like the early eras. But you build that community, you build that sense of like identity. And for me, it's been a reconnect because like, so a part of me that as you get older, you start to learn things about yourself. And one thing that I was missing was my sense of culture. I had always spent so much time working to fit in that I kind of lost what I was about. So I've been spending a lot of time reconnecting with, like, I identify as a Chicano, and not to say like if you say I am Latino, Latina, Latinx, like I support it 100%. I feel like I am a different subset though because I'm Californian. I kind of believe in more of like the political ideology of the like being Chicano. So it's a different system. but I've been learning to like reconnect with that, understand it, support the community, become involved, and really just try to find those ways to connect. But that also comes with the car culture. So like, there's an organization out here called the Chicano Heritage Association, and they do shit like they'll be handing out free meals, but it's through like a lowrider caravan. So they're like, we will be driving through your neighborhood, we will be handing out foods, and so it's like it comes around. Like, are there negative elements? Sure, but at times, it depends on like who's there, and it's also like I think when you do things when you're older, you appreciate it in a different way. Like, I'm not out here trying to like show off and like get women. Like, I got a beautiful wife. I'm happy. Like, I'm able to do these things and like take care of myself and my kids and like connect with it. But the car culture is a real thing, and it's exciting to me. And like, it takes me back to, I don't know if they had these out by you guys or even if you're old enough to remember, but they used to have these like, these Latin like jail magazines in a sense called Teen Angel. And if you don't know about Teen Angel, Google it, because if you've ever seen like Mexican jail art, it's very like, it's all like wispy and whatnot. And so this was a magazine that just collected that stuff. So it was lowriders, it was homies like doing like the down on the knee and etched in a Polaroid like East Side, shit like that. Mm-hmm. So it was a collection of that stuff. And so it's like, it's an identity. It's a whole thing that's just like, it's hard to explain because it's a lot. You know what I mean?
Fuck with it.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's something. Like I said, I see. I think I guess I have felt you trying to reach back to your culture as of late. Is you know what I'm saying? So I kind of think I know that, and like I'm saying, to pull out the lowrider. I know Cali car culture is a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because we are our cars. We don't like when they say people don't walk. We don't walk. Like, we'll walk at the place, but we don't walk to get there. Like, even if that shit's 2 blocks away, we will drive 2 blocks to then walk on the trails.
It's real.
Yeah.
That's why traffic is so goddamn terrible there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. Like, I want to talk about, too, because you guys mentioned this, I think, on the last episode or the one before. Yeah, if there are any positives to, like, this COVID experience, these freeways have been beautiful.
I've heard people saying shit that in normal times would take 2 hours. It's taking like, 20, 30, 45 minutes.
Straight up, because it used to, door to door from like my home to my office is 24 miles, 24, 22 miles. Going to work used to take me 1 hour and 15 minutes. Coming home from work used to take me at minimum 1 hour and a half. At most, the worst day I ever had, it took me 3.5 hours to get home.
Wow.
And then
shit,
when things were at its lightest, door to door 20 minutes. Like, boom, no problem. Like, it was awesome. Now it's starting to pick up. Mornings are still real light. In the afternoon, maybe it takes me 45 minutes. But when you compare it to what it used to be 1 hour plus, I'm like, I'll take it.
Fuck with it, man. It's like for those who don't know, like I said, my time in LA was wild short. But the one thing I knew about the traffic there was it is straight up bumper to bumper, and there's exits on both sides of the damn highway. You be having to make some moves, and
it's not consistent either. Like, sometimes you'll have 4 because they're like, oh, you're on this side, you can go northbound and southbound from this side or the other side. And sometimes they're like, no, southbound's on your right, northbound's on your left. It's fucking crazy. Like, they went wild.
It is poorly designed.
Now,
but still better than Boston.
What's car culture like out by you guys? Like, is there a lowrider scene or anything like that?
Well,
muscle cars.
There's different types of car culture here. Like, it's this place on Miles and Harvard where, like, late at night on the weekends, it's just a regular ass spray on your own car wash.
Okay.
And it's like a car show every fucking weekend there. Like, and like, what else is big here is Wranglers. Like like bunches of Jeep Wranglers. Like, they'll meet up places, and like they'll like it'll just be like 20 or 30 Jeep Wranglers, and like they'll be just sitting there, talking about Wranglers and shit. And also like where I grew up, it used to be a lot of different car shows, like with lots of different old schools, like O's and Deltas and stuff like that. And like it's a movie theater that I used to go to back in the day, where like every Saturday it'll be a car show there, because my brother used to work out in that's Nestle is in Seoul. So like where it used to be like every weekend it's a car show out there. Like one thing, like it's all different kind of races and like different backgrounds, but like as I always say, I feel like Ohio is the most northern southern state, and like around there, if you go off to the left or right 20 minutes, there's a lot of farmland, but it's always like these guys who have like old school muscle cars in those barns, and like
that's where you see like those picker type shows where they're like, yeah, we found this Mustang in a covered in hay. You're just like, yeah, that barn's got something.
Yeah, it's all like it's a wonder, like if you're like I mean not as much now, like used to go out to the outlet, go pick up some cheap clothes or shoes out there, and it's back in a before you get there, it's pretty rural, and like it's always cars on the side of the road out there, and like I guess the main difference between like I don't think a lot of people are in a hurry to get cars out here like out there, because we do have a pretty good rapid transit system and stuff like that, and
yeah, we definitely don't have that. Like not at all. And there's a couple things you brought up. Like one, because we are so spread out. Like one of my buddies came out from Atlanta maybe like last year or so, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you're only like 15 miles from where we're staying. I'll be there in like 15 minutes less." And I was like, "No, you ain't." I was like, "You are in Santa Monica.
Yeah,
that shit is gonna be about 45 minutes." And he didn't believe me. He's like, "It's straight down the freeway." I was like, "You don't know what you're talking about." So it's like, but to see different things, and that's why I love the city that I'm in, because it's like I'm 20 minutes in any direction, and I can get to stuff. I get to Hollywood about 20 minutes. I get to Orange County about 20. Like everything's 20 minutes, boom, 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 real quick. So that's something I really like about it here. But I was also going to point out too is like I think as Californians, we are an identity culture for sure. And I think even to the most like introvert, we still like to be out and be seen in a way, Yeah. And so a lot of times, even your most basic car, it might be covered in stickers, but very rarely do you see like something that just is like stock to the core.
Yeah.
Like there's always, the family sticker in the back of the car, or fucking Star Wars stickers on a car. There's something to separate you from someone else, even if it's subtle, like your license plate frame. It's a little bit different. And so I think it's just like that car movement, that car culture. It's our home when it's not our home. We live in them so much that we make them a part of us. So whether it's like lowrider culture, muscle car, or even fucking mom car, like it's such a big piece of us. And then when you were talking about like rural areas, like getting up into like the more rural, like Central Valley areas of California, you'll still find like lowrider car clubs and stuff like that out there too, because that's also like, you got to think of like the migrant transition. You know what I mean? So it's just like, so when I would go out, like remember first I went to like the Bakersfield or like Victorville area, and I was like, damn, there's a lot of brown people out here. Like it's fucking crazy. Because you always think of like LA, and then like going out, and I remember staying at a friend's place, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna go out to the fields. This fucking show was going on, and it was just like a ton of fucking lowriders like out in this like field, and everyone was just, we were young, everyone was just fucking chilling and drinking, like all underage and shit, like you're supposed to do, and it was tight, you know. So it's a big piece of who we are, like out here. But you'll be seeing me out in these streets. Like I've been telling everybody, man, you come out here, we're gonna be cruising. We'll do it. That's an open invite.
I know pre-personal pandemic, it's a parking lot around the way. There used to be a Kmart around the way from Gabe's house. There used to always be a car show there every Saturday. Like always. It was always just people come through, whatever ride it is. Old schools, you know what I'm saying? New shit they really just whipped up into some old fly shit. But like I said, that was the before times. I wonder if it will be able to make a comeback in the now. So
I'm going to say yes. And maybe that's just for us out here, but I've noticed more tricked out vehicles lately as people are starting to creep outside, where I'm like, oh, you were in the garage.
Oh yeah.
Like I think this kind of goes into like a tangent in a different direction. I tweeted this out the other day. I cannot wait for late 2021, early 2022 music, because the independent scene is gonna fucking blow up. These people been in the crib, just ideas, and they're like, all right, let me fuck with this keyboard. Like, it's so easy to create right now that I'm like, we're gonna have a musical revolution real soon. Yeah. And I think because people just had idle hands. And what I'm noticing out here on the vehicle end is like, I'm starting to see more muscle cars. I'm starting to see more lowriders. I'm starting to see cars on the street where I'm like, you were cooking that up in the lab. Like you're ready to be out.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited just in general. Now that I'm technically fully vaccinated, you know what I'm saying? I've done my 2 weeks post second shot. Mm-hmm. I want to go to the movie theater. I'm very excited to go see the Scott Pilgrim 10th anniversary re-release that comes out next week. Actually, I feel like that might come out tomorrow.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I last I heard, I think it is this weekend.
Yeah, so that might be the move. But like I said again, we're on baby watch. Mm-hmm. So I might be going to Syracuse this weekend. Yeah. so who knows how this will play itself out. Baby watch. But yeah, man, Vanessa's best friend is due, and it's due any moment. Oh. So and then she wants Vanessa to be the first to hold that baby outside of her and her husband. Okay. So I'm like, all right, we'll make that happen. And so that is the move that might be going down here shortly. But yeah, man, like I said, I really just wanted you to talk about that in general, and I was like, you got to talk about this. And then it turns out I had you on my show before you know what I'm saying, whatever. So I'm like, well, here, talk about it with us. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, for real. So that's what's going on. Well, I mean, anything else going on with you care to share with the listener?
You know, right now, just kind of like everything is very hectic right now because we're trying to like, with all like COVID regulations still and stuff like that, it's like trying to shut down a school year. And so like I got like 23 days left of school. So it's like trying to close out this year and trying to prepare for the opening of next year is like got me super tired. You know, I'll make time for you. You gave me a ring. I was like, I'm down. But like, I haven't played like much video games or anything like that lately. I've just been like, come home, eat some dinner, fucking pass out. Like I'm done. So it's got me like super wiped out. But, you know, that's kind of like been like the big piece. And then just making sure that everyone is like in a good headspace at home, you know, like, kids are doing all right. I mean, the kids, they act a fool. It is what it is. And then just, you know, making sure that my wife has everything she needs. So it's just like, we're like in a good place. Weather's been great out here, you know, so you see me out here out in the tank, just chilling, guns out, bang, bang, bang.
Guns out, guns out.
Oh my gosh.
No, but so, I mean, that's been me. And now I'm just going to, you know, once the school year's up, I did decide to work summer school because, man, so get this, like a little side story. I got a ton of stories. Sorry if I talk too much. You can tell me shut the fuck up. I'll be like, all right, cool. But when my son was like a toddler and he went to his first dentist appointment, they found that the x-rays was like had 2 dark spots under his like nostrils, like on his upper jaw. So the dentist was like, dark spots in an x-ray is not good. Like, you got to take him to an oral surgeon. We got to look at this. So they had us all freaked out like, fucking cancer. Shit, you know? Go to an oral surgeon. He's like, no, you're good. Those are just like holes. The bone didn't seal. Fast forward, my son is 12. And, you know, his baby teeth are falling out except for a couple of them. So they go like, orthodontist. We had Invisaligns because my son's teeth looked like the fucking Grand Canyon, man. They were just going every which way and all gappy and shit. So we got him Invisalign, smile looking tight, but those baby teeth haven't fallen out. What they found was that his adult teeth, instead of forcing the baby teeth down, grew in those pockets. So they're like facing forward like headlights, and they're not growing. They grew in there. And so when they did an x-ray of that top part, they were like, he's still got teeth up here. So this poor kid, they had to throw braces on his top teeth, then remove 4 teeth. One of them is going to come down like a garage door. They attach chains to the teeth. So now one tooth gets slowly pulled straight down, whereas another one, because of the angle, actually has to be like slid over to the right, like over another gum root, and then down into its place. So that's supposed to be like a 2-year like slow process. So now he's got like missing teeth and fucking gaps, and I was like, okay, so you're gonna pay me for summer school, like a full check?
Oh, wow.
I gotta pay for this fool's teeth right now, so I guess I'm doing summer school. But it's all right. It's 4 days a week. It's like, I get out at like 1 every day. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. It's summertime. By the time I get home, they'll be dressed. We can go do something. So
Cool.
I can live with that.
Right on. I'm good. I'm glad all is going well with you, man. Glad the focus doing right. So that's dope. Plus, you got a dope ass whip to push around.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I'm good. And I've been in a good headspace for a while lately. You know, I haven't getting like, usually the depression kicks in and stuff like that, but it's been like, been feeling good for a long while. Especially, you know, to all the homies, all you guys who check in, man. I really appreciate it. Because I think, like, we just need it. Calling each other. You good? What's happening? You all right? Like, check on your people. Please. Check on your people.
I legit try to with enough regularity. So yes. I hear you, and that's real as fuck. So that's
T and I are wilding, though, because we got, like, I was going to call you on this the other day. We got like 3 different chats going on, and none of those conversations cross.
Nope. they know we do the same thing too. It's like we got a Twitter joint, we got a Instagram joint, and we got a text joint, and it's just all of them are they're specific for their very very reasons. So.
Though they may share same topics, never the same content, and never the conversation. You'll Instagram message me on one thing as we're texting about another, and I'm like, this is fucking crazy. But I appreciate it, man. I love it. Always, all the time. I'm
we just silo shit off. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Gabriel, before you drift off.
I'm not drifting off. I'm awake.
Did you drink coffee tonight, guys?
I did drink a lot of coffee today. It gave me a headache. I think I drank too much coffee. It's going to take a little bit for me to fall asleep after this podcast.
It's all good.
I am with it. The pancake will weigh me down a little bit. But once again, SKiM has gone Hollywood, and we have watched another movie for you guys. So we can tell you if it's good or bad, and you're going to take our word as gospel, because that's what you do as fans of our show.
Full page of notes.
I should have taken some notes. I took mental notes.
I didn't need to take anything.
So if you are not ready to have Mortal Kombat, the 2021, T hates that. The 2021. The 2021 Mortal Kombat spoiled for you. Turn this podcast off right now. Go watch it, and then come back. So we watched Mortal Kombat, all of us, including Chaufie.
Twice.
Same.
Watch it twice.
Same.
I will say about it, it's interesting. The main focus, the main star of it is not a Mortal Kombat character. He's an original character, Cole Young, for this movie. And I guess his purpose is to explain everything too, so we as the audience understand what's going on. He's a washed-up MMA fighter who's like doing $200 a fight. He just doesn't have what he used to, but he was born with the dragon symbol that you see from the Mortal Kombat video games. Now, before that, the movie actually doesn't start there. The movie starts back in feudal Japan. With was his first name Hanzo?
Hanzo, yeah.
I forget his first name. Hanzo, just kicking it with his family, living nice.
Yeah, he went to go get some water.
Went to go get some water for his family. And you know it's going to go bad because it's Mortal Kombat, and with it's not a family. It's not a family affair. And Sub-Zero shows up and kills his wife and his kid. The baby survives because they hid the baby away, and Raiden comes along and takes care of it. But as he's about to kill Hanzo, he tells Sub-Zero, "Remember this face," and that comes back later. I will say this: no action scene in the rest of the movie until the very end, the last fight between Scorpion and Sub-Zero, matched that beginning action scene. So it starts off strong. It just never rises to that level again.
It almost seems to me that beginning scene was written and directed by somebody totally different than the whole movie.
That's
completely.
Yeah, good point.
Completely.
That scene, I was just like the whole beginning of the movie was so good. I'm like, I'm going to enjoy this movie.
And you know what? It was like the crispness of the footage. That HD was clean. Like the color, like the lighting was right. The choreography of that fight was like, it was sick. He was on some John Wick shit right there. Like that was.
He's cutting down fools left and right. He discovers his family dead, and then I guess it's Sub-Zero's crew shows up to cut him down. The Lin Kuei.
Yeah.
And Hanzo, who will later become Scorpion, spoiler alert, starts cutting people left and right.
Yeah. And it was like when you see like the wife digging in the garden with, I'm like, oh yeah. Like it was like I said, let me stop saying oh yeah. She was digging in the garden with the like the little knife Scorpion uses like throughout the game.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, that's a nice little love letter to this.
Yeah.
Like I said, that whole beginning, they had me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then and even when, they do use the made up character in the next scene, I'm like, oh, okay. It was literally like downhill because that dude that played Jax was terrible.
I liked him a lot. How funny that you didn't like him.
His dialogue was terrible. And I know
you didn't like 6 tours, motherfucker.
Yeah, that part killed me, man.
Before I get into why I like this movie, I do want to take like a quick survey. What's everyone's age? Like of us.
Oh.
Like I'm 45.
I'm 39.
40.
Okay.
45.
Okay.
41. I remember when Mortal Kombat came out.
Okay, so I think this might be a major difference in things. I loved this movie. And the reason why I loved this movie, like I totally agree. I felt like the beginning and that first 15 and then the rest of the movie were 2 different movies. Like they ran out of a budget and they said, just fucking make the rest of it, figure it out. But this movie, like, it felt like do you remember back in the 80s when they just pumped out action films and they were corny, like the fucking trauma films, like, but even early 80s when it was like fucking like Commando or Delta Force, like it was like these movies sucked. They were campy, they were corny, and so it was just like that's what this was. Like it to me, like how you were saying, it felt like a love letter seeing the sword. To me, I liked this movie because it felt like a throwback to that nostalgia. Was it on purpose? I don't know, but it felt like one of those movies, and I was in. All the characters and their dumbass lines. I mean, like, who doesn't still say I'll be back? Like, I mean, that's what this was.
I watched RoboCop 2 last night. Like, I love like my favorite movie probably of all time is RoboCop. Like,
I love RoboCop.
There's no movie. And like looking back on it, why did my mother let me watch that? But it's like so campy and so raunchy. Can you fly, Bobby? Comes out of my mouth too many times. Or like I do like those genre movies. I wish it was. Yeah. I wish it was more campy like that. Like that's also my favorite horror genre. Like campy horror movies, like where blood, laugh. You know.
Oh, so that I'm glad you said that because watching this whole movie, and I may be way off base too, but I'm pretty sure they stole elements of the classic jail movie Sangre por Sangre, aka Blood in, Blood Out, aka Bound by Honor. There are some story elements that I was like, I'm pretty sure you're stealing the plot lines from that movie. Now, if you haven't seen that movie, go watch it.
Oh, I've seen it before.
Pretty ridiculous. But so it was just like those parts. I was like, man, you guys are really like fucking around over here, just making this weird ass movie.
So this is a first time director, Simon McQuoid. This is his first movie ever.
Okay.
And if his IMDb is to be believed, the second thing he's ever directed ever. He is.
All right, that's not bad for a second time out. That puts it in
the first thing he directed.
Hold on, I believe it was a short. Let me pull it back up.
So whose son was he?
Yeah, that's sort of like who's he related to?
A video short that he directed in 2014. So it's been a lot of time between here and there. Called The Nighttime Economy, and his page is nothing. It is Simon McQuoid, director of Mortal Kombat, and The Nighttime Economy. That is it. Also, he got a producer credit on this Mortal Kombat movie.
Well, with the budget they had, which was low, like it was lower than the original Mortal Kombat, and this is the 90s Mortal Kombat. They did all right.
Yeah.
They did all right. I was against them at first using a
created character,
an original character as the focus.
Yeah, it's like a plot
But then
vehicle.
I'm like, I get it. Yeah, I got it now. I get it now because like everyone has their favorite character from Mortal Kombat.
Right.
So instead of making like one of the Mortal Kombat characters the focus, so the other Mortal Kombat characters get shorted, let's just make this fucking
audience surrogate.
Yeah. So I got that.
The problem with that to me is that dude is a stuntman. This is one of his first roles as an actor, and it is so obvious.
Yeah,
he is bad.
Yeah,
and not good bad. His line reads are shit. And half Chinese, half English film, television, and theater actor. And if that's the case, he needs some more work.
Yeah,
it could have been Tyler Perry.
It says he did. It says he did three. It says he did 3 seasons of Into the Badlands.
Oh,
yeah, I remember him from Into the Badlands. He was all right in that, but he didn't have much. He wasn't starring in Into the Badlands.
Yeah, I was going to say, is he just one of the side dudes who just like every so often goes like, "Let's get him."
Yeah, he was a side dude. If you don't put too much focus on him, his shortcomings as an actor doesn't really play out.
So
but
I guess he's
not leading man material. I'm sorry.
By a lot, not leading man material. So like I said, he started as a stuntman who then broke into acting, and so it's just like, sir, you're not good. But also, again, new director. Maybe he just wasn't given the what he needed.
Yeah,
and maybe more can be expected of him. But he was like my main that woman who I just thought was his manager, and that child who I thought was his sister.
Yeah, that wasn't explained well.
How old is he when he had that kid? Because that kid is old.
Yeah,
for his young ass.
I really thought that. I had the same thought. I thought that was his sister. I was like, oh, because the way she was so direct with them, like fucking giving uppercut. I was like, oh yeah, that's his sister. Tell him like, get your life together. Mm-hmm. And then it was like they made her look older, and then when you saw her later, it was like, wait, are you a kid? Like, because I thought your ass was like 23.
She also had a slight Australian accent, and I was like, I thought the movie took place in the Chicagoland area. What's going on with this movie? Everything about that shit had me all fucked up.
Hey, you know what? Different realms. I don't know what Earth that was
on. Oh, I did write this down, and it's the first note I wrote down. The Atomic Monster production, the company card at the beginning of the movie. Uh-huh. That's one of the best production company logos, production company cards I've ever seen in a movie. I was like, that is really well done. It kind of like an astronaut running along. You know what I'm saying? I really
it's funny
enjoyed
you
that.
pointed that out because my thought was like, damn, they don't do them like this anymore.
Yeah, it's mostly just like whatever, just a standard like bit of script or something. That was fun. I really like that a lot. So props up to that, man.
All right. Well, when I just get grievances out the way, I'll air out grievances.
I figure you tell us some more stories, sir.
Well, he eventually runs to. He's at a fight. This Cole Young, Jack shows up and says, "Hey, man, I dig your mark." And she's like, "Oh, that's a birthmark. He was born with it. It's the dragon logo." And it's like, "All right, I'll see you around, fighter." And that was Jack Spriggs from if you watched the previews. And family gets lunch. They never explain like was this mom his wife a teacher that molested him when he was still in high school. I don't know.
Damn.
But
on some Laterno shit, huh?
But they get attacked by Sub-Zero, who, by the way, Sub-Zero scenes. Those were great. The guy who plays Sub-Zero has screen presence that the rest of the crew doesn't.
I would have ADR'd every single line he said. It was all spoken through that mask and sounded like shit to me. Every single bit of that, I just would have re-recorded. Like they had to re-record Bane's voice for Rises. I would have just recorded. I would have re-recorded every single bit of his dialogue, all of it.
So
he didn't have much dialogue to re-record though, so maybe that's why they left it alone.
Well, it's funny you say that too because I was thinking, and I know you'll get to it in the end. Hanzo keeps taking his fucking mask off so he can say lines, but Sub-Zero's like, "Nah, I'm just gonna push through." I was like,
yeah,
what?
He did.
Yeah, it was wildly echoey in a way, like because he's talking through a mask. Yeah. And I guess we all kind of know what that is now. We all have to talk through our Sub-Zero mask.
Yeah,
just something I would have fixed.
Yeah,
but the actor still has screen presence.
He does.
He did. He was there for sure.
He's the one. He's out of all of them. He's the one you felt like this guy's a badass. Like Kano for all his shit talking. The guy who played him couldn't fight for shit.
Loved Kano. That dude was. I got like
couldn't fight for shit though.
A whole bunch of Kano lines because that shit just made me laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, I did enjoy him I did enjoy his comic relief.
Yep.
But like I said, the actor who played him was like very stiff in the action scenes.
Yeah.
Like, can you fight? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see him do some martial arts.
Let's see what Mr. Josh Lawson does otherwise. Let's pull that up right quick.
In the game, Kano's best move is just throwing people. So it wasn't like Kano.
Yep.
Kano was like really a fighter.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So Jax comes to save Cole Young. I'm not going to go through the whole movie. Explains the Mortal Kombat to him. They meet up with Sonya Blade. Jax sends him off to Sonya Blade so he can fight. He can fight Sub-Zero by himself. Gets his arms frozen off in a pretty sick scene.
Yeah.
And gets fucked up pretty bad.
That's where you find out he did 6 tours, motherfucker.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what he did. Sorry, he pronounced that with an ER, not an A, and I take offense.
Yeah.
That was a hard ER.
Oh, shit.
And Sonya explains the whole thing to him. You get some Easter eggs there. Like you see Nightwolf.
Yeah.
And I forget who else.
And she also says AB, AB, ABV during the movie. So.
What? She kind of had some ups and downs in her line reads too, and I was like,
None of them are great actors.
That's a beautiful family you have there. She just reads it like so fast. I'm like, what are you trying to say here? You know what I'm saying? It's like slowly roll. Let me know what's going on.
You know what it was? Is that the actors didn't. I am no actor. I got no fucking skills. They didn't play off of each other.
Yeah,
they just said lines, and so that kind of really broke it a lot of times because, Kano he spit out one-liners, but he spit them out a little too fast so that the other person didn't catch him. But like you have the main guy. Was it Cole? Is that his name?
Yeah, Cole
Young.
Cole doesn't have the acting ability clearly, so he couldn't catch him. Then you have Sonya, who was also moving real quick, kind of getting through her shit. So it was like they just didn't dance with each other. They were all doing like one was doing the Running Man, one was doing the Butterfly, and the other one was doing the Jerk. Like they were not listening to the same songs.
When my man said, "Let's see if you're a natural blonde," and she caught him with that nasty, I was like, "That was a fun line read." That was well done.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but a few things we saw. I counted like 4 fatalities in the whole movie. No, maybe 5. Maybe 5. We saw Kano rip somebody's heart out.
Mm-hmm.
That Kano wins was great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we saw Kano. We saw the Fire Dragon.
Yeah.
We saw the Shang-Tsu, the soul. We saw the hat.
Sonya did her punch.
That wasn't a fatality. She just blasted someone through the chest.
I know, but I'm almost positive that is one of her fatalities.
I'm pretty sure that's a fatality. Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that. Oh, it's 6. And then Scorpion at the end.
Yeah. What I was really hoping, though, for was some one-offs. Like, I really wanted a babality. Like, I thought that
friendship.
Just for the friendship ones would have been great when they were, like, battling each other, like, for practice. Damn. They fucked up. They didn't hire us.
Oh, that was a good idea.
Yeah.
We're punching. See, I get just like Coming to America, we're punching the shit up for them.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the bicycle kick too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there was little things to it. There was little things to enjoy. It's just like it wasn't well acted. It was paced really fast at the end.
Yeah.
It was a short movie too. It just felt like it was how long was that movie total?
Hour 50.
Yeah. So it didn't even feel like that at all because it's once it hit the ground running, it started going. You know. What else? Whatever the notes I got here.
Did you guys catch the blood, like especially in the beginning, because it was like in the first part, didn't really capture in the second part. The blood splatter effect, like how it was, it's like straight out the game. Like I was like, it was one of those like really neat nods that it wasn't like liquidous. It was very digitized and like Mortal Kombat has a specific like blood style to it, and so when Hanzo was fucking chopping people up and the blood was coming through, I was like, that's Mortal Kombat blood.
Was that on purpose?
I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to go with that. It's probably a choice they made.
Because it was very distinct on how it was. I was like, oh, that's some CG from the game.
Oh, I got 2 more Kano lines. Your beer is shit and you're almost out of it.
Yes.
And,
I like that.
I chuckled at that.
And I worked on a Kano graphic novel, made me laugh heartily.
Yeah.
The very idea of it just made me laugh. I was like, okay, bro, I see you.
Yeah, he was just sitting there drawing like, yep.
Yeah.
That they had to kill him off so Johnny Cage can have all the comic relief in the next movie?
Maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe. Kano, when he got his, what did they call the ability? When you get Arcana. Did throw me off, though, because I immediately was like, is he Robot Chicken? Got the little eye.
Okay.
Yeah, why would you have this Arcana be one? I know it's from the game.
Yeah.
But in the context of the movie, it makes less sense.
My question I wrote down on those is, how is Kano's spirit eye electric? That shit's supposed to be a spiritual arcana that he got from whatever, but she hit him with that acetone and the shit shorts out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Makes no sense. How the hell is this? They give him a battery pack.
How do you short out an Arcana?
There you go.
Now they never explained. I know Kung Lao is his Arcana his hat or teleporting? They never explained that.
Did you see him teleport?
Yeah, I was like,
in one scene he jumped out of the ground out of nowhere.
Huh.
I think he might have just jumped out of the ground out of nowhere.
That was a bad edit.
That might have been a bad edit, actually. I thought it was like, because in the game he teleports out of the ground sometimes.
This is
so
like
I
up,
thought
down.
maybe that's what they were doing.
No, because the hat is just his like skill set, but not his like ability set. Now, I do have one major glaring issue. Okay, we hear through the whole movie that the Outworld is going to take over, right? And they're going to win the tournament, but if they lose the tournament, they're kicked out, right? And at the end of the movie, they're kicked out. There was no fucking tournament. The tournament never happened. So they so I'm like, once this was just a street fight. Like they devised a plan to divide them up and beat them up, and they won and they were successful. But the villains technically didn't lose and shouldn't have gotten kicked out because they were like, hey, well, I mean, so Wednesday we're meeting up for the tournament as it's still happening. Like, I got my badge. Like, what are we doing? No tournament.
I thought they're saving the tournament for sequels.
Sure.
Maybe I misunderstood.
Sure.
I mean, that's what I'm assuming, yeah, but it was like when they were like, they kept the same rules without a tournament, and this whole movie they've been talking about having this tournament. So I'm like, when's the tournament happening? Which makes me wonder, how soon do we get a sequel? Because it sounds like this shit is going to flip real quick. Yeah.
It's already done? I was just joking. I don't know.
You're probably right, though.
So, you might be right.
So my glaring is, do these people not understand what a prophecy is?
No.
You can't do anything to stop it. Yeah. It is prophecy. It is prophetic. No matter what you do, it's still going to happen.
It will happen.
That's how prophecy works.
Yeah.
You dumbass.
Prophecy is getting to be an overused martial arts movie device. Anyways, they could call it something else, a probability.
Yeah,
and maybe that would be more likely to be thwarted.
Yeah, maybe they just need to start using hypothesis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Something to be disproven.
Also, why did they parachute so far from that damn temple? They go into a temple, just
like,
go drop your ass right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
You know what I'm saying?
The plane was still
3
going?
weeks out?
My man said, that's far enough, MC Hammer, and I was very amused by that when Liu Kang walked up on him. Again, that's another good Kano line. Also, at one point, the subtitle said Liu Kang and Kung Lao were cousins, but at another point, he calls him his brother.
Yeah.
So which one is
close like that?
But yeah, I think they kind of. But I think he explains in the dialogue like he's like my brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another issue I had too, which is it was just funny to me. I'm like, Cole doesn't develop his ability till way later, so he's just like an average man, right? These motherfuckers can teleport anywhere at any time, and they were like, yeah, he ran away. Like, sorry. Like, sorry, boss. I'm like, no. Yeah, a pair of fucking Chucks doesn't beat Sub-Zero. Like, just teleport in front of him. Like, you could do that. Like, you just blew up some dude's arms who clearly, like, has the skill set, because how many tours did he do?
6, motherfucker.
Six, motherfucker.
6. Okay, good. Just to make sure. Whereas I don't think Cole did any. But you know what Cole did? He ran away. I was like, you guys are fucking wildin'. Send the whole team out, because clearly you all can fucking teleport. Teleport in front of him, whoop his ass, boom, boom, boom. Movie's done in 30 minutes.
Wow, they really did short change Goro in that movie, didn't they?
Yeah.
What was the lady Goro?
Shiva.
Yeah, maybe we'll have her next go around. Have a little more fun that way.
She's gonna be wearing that Borat
this
style
slingshot bikini.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shit. You know, Goro was supposed to be a half human, half dragon, right?
Yeah, we talked about this in one episode. Like, how does that come about? Did a man fuck a dragon, a female dragon? Did a male dragon fuck a female human? What the hell happened
No,
there?
that's easy to answer. A male human fucked a dragon. Male humans, we just talked about a fucking male human fucking a pie, a pound cake.
Yeah.
Like, we just talked about this.
We are disgusting. I suggested
yeah.
fucking a half
Yes.
pie. You suggested fucking a cake. We are disgusting.
A few shots of whiskey and that dragon looks pretty good.
Right, exactly.
That dragon at the end of the bar and it's closing time.
Yeah.
I gotta go home with something.
Yeah, at some point
That
he's like,
dragon might as well do.
he's like, what them dragon lips do?
I kind of feel like he was stone cold sober. He was just, but like if you drink, you'll just fall asleep and be like, but no.
Nah.
You don't got no drinks.
That dude was on some freak nasty, huh?
You fucking that dragon.
After that, he strolled away with like some fucking crocodile boots.
Yeah.
The fact that that dude's little family would not just go their ass in the house or go to the truck while Goro was whooping his ass. I'm just like, bruh, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing watching this? This is not a fight that you need to be observing.
Well, I mean, are they desensitized to being freaked out at this point since they got attacked by Sub-Zero, or like should they have been more in shock?
Also, his Arcana was basically an Under Armour muscle shirt.
Yes.
That shit was
with
so
a pair
whack.
of nunchucks.
That's all it was.
No, them weren't nunchucks. I forgot. I don't know what the bitches is called, but them bitches is not nunchucks.
Yeah,
Billy
those
Cubs.
other
Billy
ones
Cubs.
with the blade
Yeah.
on them, because then you can
Yeah.
slash like under. But also, time apparently doesn't exist in the same way, because when he blipped out, like they were just chilling in the crib, just eating snacks.
Like shit was sweet.
Right? They're just like, "Hey, where'd your dad go?" I don't know. And then he showed up with lightning, and he was like, "Hey, we need to leave," and they were like, "Now?" Like,
When she was trying to leave and they just like she packing up the whole goddamn house, I'm like, no, leave. You can go buy shit. You can buy other things. You can buy other shit when you get there.
Right.
Get the fuck on.
you drive through any alley, you'll find some sneakers. Don't worry about it. We just need to go. Like,
You're attacked by a man who controls ice.
yeah. And then homeboy shows up with like multiple arms. Nah, let's not be here. Like, let's be somewhere else.
Should his first instinct be, hey, let's fight the giant thing with multiple arms, or should it be like, I'm gonna run? I know he's got some pride in it. It would look bad for the movie.
Yeah.
But like, no one's gonna. I'm trying not to use this word, but no one's gonna call you a bitch for running away from Goro.
Yeah. No, that's true. Like, if they were like, man, you ran away. Did you see who I ran from? Oh, you're right. You're right.
Oh my god.
But all in all, though, like, for all the internet naysayers, like, you know what this movie is. Like, if you've seen the other two Mortal Kombat movies, they're not that great. Like, they're not, like, they suck too. So, no big deal. Like, fuck it. Who cares? Just, like, sometimes you gotta let a movie be a movie. You know? Like, I was telling my homie Delvin, I was like, I did not expect like Anthony Hopkins to be in this movie. I didn't expect an amazing like monologue at some point. I want to see. Oh, that's did we talk about the fatality? Jax did it, right?
Oh, 7. Yep, that was
The head smash.
The clap the heads.
Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see dumb shit. I want to see someone's arms get busted off. I want to see someone get thrown around. Like, this was a dumb movie. I told someone, like, this is a movie that we do this. You kick it with your homies. You just talk shit about it. You had fun. You just had fun. You know?
This is like the opposite of Coming to America, where we reviewed last week, where we said it was a sequel that had a lot to live up to. And in the context of as a standalone movie, it's pretty good. But in the context of its predecessor, it is not as great, and it makes it look a little bad. Like, this is the opposite in that this one really outdid its predecessor.
Yeah.
But as a standalone movie, it's not great.
Yeah.
But compared to its predecessor, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah. Well, because, I mean, with the predecessor, you had the bar, like, on the floor.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is just like an eighth of an inch off the floor. Like it didn't take much.
I'm like I said, I would. Also, hold on. Did I write it down? I absolutely despise Shang Tsung's wig. That shit was awful.
Yes.
But outside of that, I think.
Should they have gone with old Shang Tsung instead of younger Shang Tsung?
I don't know what they should have done, but what they did did not make me happy.
No. His makeup wasn't good either. Like his makeup was real. Like I don't know. It looked a little too Botoxy.
Yeah. I don't think I like their acting choices. I think what that comes down to. You could have brought back my man who played him in that first movie. OG movies.
Yeah.
Well,
that would have been.
Asian.
I feel like that would have been a nice nod to the old joints.
Mm-hmm.
And we know he can play it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, he hasn't aged much.
Yeah, no, man. Asian folk is like got their own version of Black Don't Crack. I don't know what they call it, but still.
Yeah.
And I don't want to guess because everything I said would just seem racist.
Well, yeah, and I'm about to make it. I'm just going to keep riding that wave because I thought Cole was Sub-Zero in the future. I was like, it's the same dude. Like they look exactly the same.
He looked like Scarface Sub-Zero.
Yeah, so I was like, oh yeah, he's just like he's just older, or now he's in modern times, and I thought at first he was gonna be the villain, and then when they showed him in the same room, I was like, oh, where'd you not?
It's not too late. You can punch up the story.
That's basically what's been like. This whole discussion has been what we would do to make it better.
Right.
Well, what pissed me off about the predecessor is when Scorpion and Sub-Zero are on the same side. That really what the fuck they fucking hate each other. So that I'm glad they fixed that considerably in this one.
Yeah. I think this Mortal Kombat is a we tried. Like, hey, we tried to make a good movie. I mean,
yeah.
It is.
Well, our scale. It is. We're gonna skip. We're gonna skim it, or is it stay crunchy? Fellas, we watched Mortal Kombat, starring some guy who I don't know, because you don't know anybody in this movie except him, and I barely know him. Directed by a director who's only done 2 things, including this. I'm a bad.
No, you're not. You're doing great. I like it.
Oh, that's the information we need.
We were giving so little information. I think you gave him a better credit than he deserved. I'm going to give this movie a skim. You can skim through it. There was some very good parts in it. It was also some very skippable parts. I mean, it was just. I'll give it a skim.
Same, agree. It's one of those right down the middle kind of dealies. It's fine. It's not great. What it does do, I was listening to Waypoint's review of this today. Patrick Klepek was reviewing it, and he was super like haughty about it. Like, I don't like that they had them say lines from the game, and I'm like, I thought that was fun.
That's the whole point of the movie.
I truly thought it was. Yeah, I like that Kano wins. I like that flawless victory because it was a flawless victory. That bitch didn't get a lick on my man. He
0.
fucking.
Yeah, she got talked up.
Yeah, real fast.
And didn't do they talked her up and she didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Bruh,
she flew around a little bit.
She didn't have a line in that movie. Her pay is terrible because of that shit.
She's like, I get no SAG card.
She got scale and no. Probably daily scale, not even that. You know what I'm saying? So she. And so it was a flawless victory, and I like that, and I thought that was pretty dope. So
it is funny that Scorpion went to the Netherrealm and learned English, but only learned 1 line.
Remember this face and get over here.
That's it.
Oh no! Remember this face was still in Japanese, wasn't it? So,
yeah, everything was still in Japanese except get over here. That's the only thing he said in English, in a completely different voice too.
Whoopsie.
You're right. But yeah, I still say, like I said, it's enough there that I think it was. You know what? It was just dumb fun.
Yes.
And sometimes that is all you need. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like a lot of the movies that HBO Max has been getting that they were going to put in the theater, just dumb fun. Godzilla was dumb fun. You know what I'm saying, and so forth. Wonder Woman '84, dumb fun. You know what I'm saying. So I think that actually, I think their slate of movies for this year kind of will bear that out. Like a lot of good times.
The only movie I didn't enjoy, or the only movie that was worse than this, was that Denzel Washington movie. I didn't like that.
Which one?
I will tell you in a second. You guys keep talking.
Training Day?
Chaufie, what would you give this?
I'm in the same place. I think it's a universal skim. It's one of those, like, if you catch it, catch it. I think it's a good, like, you know what, we ain't doing nothing today. It's Sunday, midday. Let's just watch it. You know, like T said, it's just dumb fun, and that's how I've described it too. Like, it's just, that's what it's there for, is to just, for you to talk a little shit on it, to have some fun, kind of just, it's ridiculous. It's over the top. It's like, we allow comedy movies to be like this, and you know what? It's nice when our action movies are like this too. Yeah. Where it's like, they know what they are. They're about blood and gore and terrible line delivery, and it's just like, it's cool. Like, you're not trying to sway my opinion social politically or anything like that. Just like, you want to see a dead body? Yes.
I'm glad we got a nice little rated R cut.
I'm also giving it a skim, but I will say with the caveat that two caveats. One, it could have been higher if all the action scenes were at the same pace as that first and last fight. Mm-hmm. And I guess if the whole movie was Sub-Zero versus Scorpion, or Sub-Zero and Scorpion fucking up shit, that would have been a damn good movie, but it wasn't. And I'm also, the second caveat is I will watch the sequels.
Yeah, for
Definitely.
Sure. And the roster's deep enough that they can bring, like, you can really stretch this franchise for a while, you know, because they didn't throw out a ton of characters. You know, they're just like, here's like 5, here you go, you know. So they got some legs. I'm with it.
This would appear to be the girl who played his daughter's first movie as well. A lot of first timers in this production.
Dang, why didn't they call us?
I would have been in it.
I could play a good Baraka.
Yo, man. Oh, I'd be so dope. Baraka would be dope.
The name of the movie was The Little Things. Denzel Washington and the one dude from the Robot Show.
Oh, and she's from Australia. The reason she had a bit of an Aussie accent is because she's Australian.
Well, I mean, she's a kid. She can't cover up her accent that well, I guess.
Fuck that. 11 from Stranger Things is British as fuck.
Yes.
And
she is?
Oh,
yes.
Like super British.
Yeah.
I thought she did a British accent for the Holmes thing.
Nope.
That's her accent.
She is English.
Yeah.
So...
Yep.
Pointing out to you that a good actor can persevere.
My girlfriend just commented on it. She's like, I hate Millie Bobby Brown. And she was saying it's like she is just playing 11 but a little smarter in that King Kong movie.
Oh shit.
And one of you had just mentioned robots, who reminded me as well. We got that Netflix movie coming out with the family who is like the last humans alive and they're fighting the robots. What's it called?
Bionic 6.
Ah, shit. Because it's something that Tayrell had sent me.
It's called My Wife's Worst Nightmare. Jeez.
No, it's kind of corny. It's like I think the creators of like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and some other movies. So that one looks like a lot of fun. So I can't wait to check that one out too.
And the Tomorrow War is coming out on Amazon Prime soon.
July 2nd.
I tried to quell my wife's robophobia a little bit by showing her that cute little robot, that robot Groot, and it just made it even worse.
What? She think you want to fuck Groot?
Why?
He's like, no. What? It's not always about fucking robots. Jeez, what's with you guys?
Oh, the movie's called The Mitchells versus the Machines.
Oh.
She said it was too agile. That's what we gotta be worried. We gotta be worried about. We're gonna make these robots too.
I think what happened.
What do I need?
No, this. I think your father-in-law made her watch Maximum Overdrive too many times or something like that. Like, you gonna sit here? You gonna watch this Stephen King movie with me?
I don't understand why I need to be worried about robots to begin with.
And toasters too.
What is going to happen? Like, if they take over the planet, fuck it. I've not lost out.
Yeah.
If they take over the planet, what they gonna do when it rain?
Exactly. Nothing.
We're gonna make them waterproof.
Also, because it's based on AI and shit like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? And they never feed it information about people of color. We good.
Yeah.
Damn,
that's a
true.
great science fiction movie.
Stats on you guys.
That is a great theory for like a good plot for a science fiction movie. Like, or alien movie. Like, they see all this different TV and stuff, and then like when they finally get here, they destroy all the people of non-color, and then
What are they doing to the light-skinned Latinos, though?
I mean, it depends on the movie.
Well, they keep us because of the stereotype of being able to fix everything.
Yeah.
So they're just like, hey, we're
this
robots.
movie is writing
like,
itself.
Fix this.
I mean, they can get rid of Ted Cruz. I just want to stay.
Yeah, well, and why? Because Ted Cruz is Cuban. And, just saying.
So they get rid of all the Cubans.
Cuban Canadian, he shouldn't have the job he has. Anyway.
The only thing about that movie is like we have to write a funny chitlin gag in the movie. Like, they eat what? No, we can't mess with them.
Right. They eat booty
Yeah, we
rings.
eat. Puerto Ricans eat the feet. Nice.
That was basically Skim Goes to the Movies. Again, just like last week, I don't know if we're gonna watch a movie this week, but if we do,
probably will.
You'll know about it going into next week's episode, and we'll keep it moving. And again, you can just suggest if you are so inclined.
Don't suggest kids. T doesn't want to watch that.
But you know how we roll, people. Each week we take it to the mean streets of Reddit, and we just simply try to answer the question: am I the asshole? I have pulled a selection of these this week. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what you guys think about these. But let me give you your choices, and you let me know what does what for you. Am I the asshole for asking my tattoo artist to lower my price for my tattoo after she constantly got up to go to the bathroom? Am I the asshole for leaving my brother's wedding reception early? Am I the asshole for calling the cops on a customer and having them issue her a trespass warning? Surprise, surprise. Yeah, you're a fucking asshole. Am I the asshole for refusing to walk a girl home through an unsafe neighborhood? Neighborhood is spelled with a U, so you notice it's either Canadian or English. Am I the asshole for taking my kids out to eat McDonald's only after dropping off my sister-in-law's kids?
I love that. That's the move.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh. Or am I the asshole for insisting in using a supposedly offensive pet name for my husband?
Insisting? I gotta hear it.
Insisting?
Yeah. What was the second one again? I missed that one.
Second one is, am I the asshole for leaving my brother's wedding reception early?
Oh, okay.
Early.
I'm
Let the guest pick.
I'm stuck between. You know, I got to go with the last one because I got to know what the offensive name is. But I also really need to hear the story about the McDonald's one because I'm already making my snap judgment that you're not. But I'm, sometimes these stories take a plot twist, and then I'm like, ooh, I was gonna side with you. Like Homeboy, it still lingers with me. I think about it every day. It's got me a moral conundrum. Homeboy who sold his wife sandwiches. I still think about that.
That was a good one.
It stays with me. Yeah, I'm like, some days I'm like, man, you're a dick. And other days I'm like, nah, you know what? You're trying to make a buck.
Well, what made him?
He sold them at a premium price.
All he had to do was say, baby, these sandwiches is popular at work. We could sell these,
Yeah.
and it's cool. It becomes cool immediately if he brings her in.
Right, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Dated.
But he kept the money. He left her out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. You know, ask me on a given day. One day I'm like, man, you're a straight up asshole. Next day I'm like, you're an entrepreneur. I don't know. So let's go with the last one.
I wonder if she was using like that pandemic sourdough or focaccia. That's probably what was making them hit.
Ooh, damn.
Am I the asshole for insisting in using a supposedly offensive pet name for my husband?
Wow.
I, 34 female, was born in in a South American country before my family came to the U.S.
She's going to use negrito.
Oh my God.
I am fluent in Spanish, and I love to and I love to use it when I can. I don't know if you're aware of, but Spanish is a language that add ito or ita at the end of a word and change the meaning entirely. For example, I can say gordo, fat, and sounds awful. However, if I say gordito, fatty, it's like you're saying you are cute. Anyway, my mom used to call me gordita. And I was always skinny, so you can see that it's more of a term of affection than an actual description. She even called my father me chanchito. Chanchito? Sometimes the literal translation is little piggy. But in our culture, it means something like my darling in a kind of cheesy way. Since I see these terms in a really good light, I call my husband, male 35, gordito or chanchito.
Oh.
He even calls me gordito. You were sitting there with like damn near chewing your nails. I saw the
When
nerves.
you started talking the ito, I was like, oh, shit.
He sometimes calls me back gordita because he says it sounds cute. My sister-in-law, female 30, is staying with us due to some issues with her apartment, and she heard me using these words. I guess she was curious and Googled them. However, as Google Translate works, it gave her the literal meaning. Mm-hmm. She got mad and told me I was being cruel to my husband. He was obese when he was younger and bullied for that. He is still a bit overweight due to some severe hypothyroidism. At first, I thought she wasn't serious. I love my husband to death, and these terms are cute more than anything else. She told me I should accommodate my language to the country I'm living in now.
Fuck you.
Okay.
And be more sensitive Then I called her delusional. My husband sided with me and said that if he wasn't offended, at best he was surprised the first time I called him like that, but that he quickly understood that it wasn't something out of malice. My sister-in-law is moving in a few days, and things are tense between us. However, my main concern is not being offensive to my husband. Am I the asshole for using this pet names? I feel so bad.
Don't.
Edit. For context, he knows the meaning of these names. He asked me earlier during our relationship why I kept calling him that. He got surprised when I told him the literal meaning, but once I explained how it works, he thought it was cute AF. His literal words back then. Edit 2. I checked the text and I made mistakes which I corrected. I actually called her delusional after her accommodating to our language comment. At first, I thought she wasn't serious, to be honest. So is this person the asshole?
No, I'm going to say no. And she should have made that sister-in-law uncomfortable and said, like, oh, no, I call him that because of his dick. It fills me up.
Right.
It don't matter.
Your brother has a fat dick.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm not talking about his pancito. I'm talking about that pinga.
Yes. But in-laws are always assholes, it seems like.
Yeah. They, I don't even think I can find anything,
That accommodate to the country, man, it's
racist.
Yeah, she was out here being a Karencita.
Yeah,
is what she was doing. Like she was doing too much, because it's like, this was kind of like a curveball for my wife. Even though she's Puerto Rican, it's still a difference in like how the cultures communicate and stuff like that. And so my dad refers to my mom as gordis or gordita. That's how it's always been. But because it's a term of endearment, it's all on how you use the term. Like, I'm gonna flip this to like English. I can be like, man, you're a fucker. You're fucking around, right? Which is very different from you, motherfucker. I'm fucking talking to you. Like,
Yeah.
that's different, right? And so it's like it's in the inflection, it's in the tone. We do that in English like how other cultures do in their language as well.
Yeah.
But when you have people who are just like very myopic and it's got to be this and it's only these rules, but they never see the gray in the English language. They just assume everyone else is wrong. So basically, this lady was letting her her ignorance show.
Yeah.
You know, and especially when the husband was like, "Nah, like that's what she calls me. Like, I'm good. If he's good with it, I'm good with it."
Once he
Exactly.
said he fucked with it, we good. We move on.
Yeah.
I'll read you one comment that looks kind of fun. Not the asshole. I speak Spanish, and gordita doesn't necessarily speak to anyone being fat in any way, depending on where you're from or what culture's dialect you're using. My wife's family is Colombian, and the one-to-one translation is like calling a baby big boy, and the nickname sticks forever. I have a 25-year-old cousin nicknamed Gordo or Gordito, and he's never been fat in his life. Sister-in-law has no idea what she's talking about, and she should go be a white savior for someone who needs it.
Thank you.
There it is. Also, just within the context of this conversation, RIP to my cousin Gordo, aka Fat Boy. Blew my wife's mind when she first met him because she's like, "You just call him Fat Boy?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was not fat, but that's just because he was Gordo in Spanish, and then it just the translation as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like when you're okay with it in your culture, it's normal,
Yeah.
I think it's that outside we put the context and we make it difficult at times.
Exactly. Am I the asshole for taking my kids out to eat at McDonald's only after dropping off my sister-in-law's kids? Tuesday, my sister-in-law had a doctor appointment come up, and she forgot about it. She had nobody to pick the kids up from school and watch them for a couple hours, and when she asked me, I said yes. I dropped them off with her husband 2.5 hours after school ended. I then went to McDonald's with my kids. Then yesterday, one of my kids mentioned the McDonald's and the new toy they got. One of their cousins overheard and told the sister-in-law. Sister-in-law went nuts that I waited to take the kids until after, and she said it would have been a nice treat for them. I told her that given our difference in parenting when it comes to food and eating out, I made it clear a long time ago that I will not be responsible for feeding her kids unless absolutely necessary. So there's a history there. My kids are 8 and 4. My niece is 9, and nephews are 8 and 6. Sister-in-law allows the kids to order and eat whatever they like. They control daily meals. They also get free reign in restaurants and fast food places. There is no limit to what they can order. That is not okay for me when they order crazy amounts and then not eat it all. So I never gave in. But they will throw temper tantrums and curse and act out. After 7 different instances like that in public and sister-in-law turning a deaf ear, I no longer am willing to do it. And an example of what it can be like. Took all 5 kids to McDonald's once with my husband. Husband went to order and niece went with him. When it came to her order, she wanted 2 large fries, the big box of McNuggets, not sure how many they are honestly, and a chicken sandwich. She wanted the biggest drink too, and ice cream. My husband told her it was too much food. She started screaming and saying the boys wanted 2 fries and 2 burgers too. One of the boys said he wanted 2 McMuffins.
That's a husky bunch.
Husband and I did our best to calm them and ordered the food, but they kept asking for more and we eventually left. That has happened so many times, and sometimes they will ask for a second or third ice cream too. Damn. It's the same if we ever tried to feed them at our house. Wouldn't eat what we prepared and wanted to dictate the menu. So we agreed no more. He told sister before that we are not about to throw away our money and cater to the insane food requests from kids. It was a tough call for us because the kids are otherwise well behaved, but when it comes to food, and it just stopped there. Sister-in-law said it was mean and hurtful to go to McDonald's after dropping the kids off, and they felt left out. and I should be ashamed. She told me only assholes do that to kids.
Oh.
Am I the asshole?
At first, I was like, that's kind of an assholey thing until she explained. Because, like, when you keep somebody's kid, you are supposed to feed them. So,
Right.
like, not feeding them, after that, I get it. But, no, she's not the asshole.
No.
Yeah, I kind of was feeling the same way too. Like when you started reading the story, I was like, "Oh, yeah, you sound like an asshole," because it sounded like it was on purpose. Like, man, fuck these kids. I'm about to drop them off, then we're gonna go eat. But then seeing the history behind it, can it be? Is being a dick like a step below being an asshole? It's a little dickish.
It's hard to tell.
It's a little dickish. But at the same time, it has purpose behind it because it's like, I think that there does need to be a little. If this kid's coming up to me being like, "I want 2 fries," I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna number one, I'm gonna whip out the old, "You got McDonald's money," and then, and then I'm gonna be like, "No, I'm gonna order your food for you because I'm paying for your food, or tell me which number you want and you can have the number, but you are not like." Coming at me with like 2 large fries, the most McNuggets, and like all this shit. Like, no, this is not a buffet. Like,
correct.
You're doing too much. And then they had a conversation about it, and it got heated. I mean, I think it's tough because it's already families are kind of a fucking difficult waters to navigate just in general. And so it's like, who's to say they were just like, oh shit, we still went to Target, went to a few of the stores, my kids were hungry, we picked up some food. Yeah. Like, so she's never supposed to feed her kids,
And
That's a hard
call
one.
bullshit on the toys ain't been that good at McDonald's lately. So
no,
the fact that them kids was like on some bullshit about I wanted a toy too. Nah, man. The toys ain't been that good.
All these faux bobbleheads they keep trying to toss out. You didn't want that. You know how I don't want. You don't want that because I even give those away for free, like in my little treasure box. No kids ever take them. Ever.
Only thing that's been sweet lately is them Pokemon cards.
Yeah. That's it. And all the adults bought them.
Yeah, for real. So
yeah.
But
now, I say not the asshole on this one. Like, I think it's just tough. It's just family shit.
Yeah, agree. For the other ones, I'm not worried about any of the other ones. And in fact, I'm going to tell you, hey, there you go. That was a show.
It's midnight after all.
It is midnight, and I got overtime in the morning. So your boy got to get to the rec just to wake up here in a few hours. But you know how we do.
I was thinking about not going to sleep at all.
Oh no, I can't fuck with that. But still,
too old for those days.
Yeah,
those days are over.
Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible. Just make sure to go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Ring the bell over there. That way you'll get notifications when we post new shit. Go follow our Twitch channel. We have streamed the last 2 weekends, and with the intention of streaming again this weekend. And so that's what's up. We kind of got a groove going. We are on baby watch from my friend, my partner's best friend. So maybe not this weekend, but if not, you just know I'm hanging out with a brand new baby, and that's kind of dope. I love the kids, man. What can I tell you? Give us a follow over on Twitter too at Skimpod, SKIMPOD. If you want to support the show financially and have a few bucks to toss our way, you can join our Patreon, where members at the $5 and above tier get extra content each month and early access to new shows. We also have merch available over at tpublic.com/user/stays, Krunchy and Milk, all one word. I found out who bought the shirts and shit from us, and that was pretty cool. And I was like, nice. So, respect due to folk copping our gear. Me and Anthony are right now working on some new designs for the store. So hopefully we'll get some stuff up, some new things up sooner than later. Also, feel free to give us a call. It's 216-302-8763. That's 216-3028-POD. We'd certainly love to hear from you. My man Chaufie is that Chaufie on Twitter. I think it's just Chaufie on IG. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he didn't ask you to follow me on either one of those things, but maybe if you want to, maybe you can.
I know, man. I didn't say put my business out there on my social too. Man, look at you. Yeah, habitual line stepper over here.
He hosts the pretty damn good Cadillac on Mars podcast. I fuck with it a lot. He gave me credit for the name of that show because we were having a discussion about space on this show at some point. And he thought he heard me say that. And if I said it, I don't remember saying it, so I really can't take credit. I can't really take credit for it. But I have a little something on that show at that point, so that's kind of dope when you think about it. So, but that's my man's. Put some respect on his name. Thanks for coming through this weekend, man. Thanks for coming through this episode, sir.
No, thank you so much for having me back on, man. I love talking to you guys. Like, it's just like you guys always have a good energy. I'm consistently listening like every week. You guys have great conversations. You're a good crew. Hopefully I'll be back on. I can be with we get Dan back on here as well.
Word up.
But just as a collective, you guys got some really good shit going on. So I was just honored when T was like, "Hey, can you come?" I was like, "Shh, say less. I'm here." So
that's what's up.
Thank you for letting me just ramble on and say a bunch of ridiculous nonsense. I love it. Thank you.
Go listen to Cadillac on Mars. It's kind of my shit. It normally only comes out once a month, but he has had a couple of special episodes roll up here in the current month, and so you got a little extra this month, and that's kind of dope. So take advantage while you can. That's Tatum 216. Yes. I was pointing dead at Gabriel, so I almost said Gabriel. My finger was just right on his face. That is the real ODP.
Yes, Dad, lock away your cakes and pies.
Our missing man is Lunchbox 2099. Please send him some love. He needs it. I have no idea how the draft went for him. We hope whoever went to wherever they wanted to go went there. There you go. Justin Fields went to the Bears. The Bears traded up to get Justin Fields. So Ohio State quarterback going to play for the Bears.
I hope tonight when he celebrate, he's ball deep in some pound cake. Ooh. You should see Gabe's face. You don't want to brought up the pound cake, man.
Damn. He's giving the pound cake the shocker, huh?
Oh, my God.
It kind of reminds me of this old joke. I guess we'll end after this, where it was a horny dude who was riding a camel, and he tries to make it with the camel a couple times, and the camel is not having it. And, he rolls up on this lady whose car breaks down. And she was like, "Man, I would be awful grateful if you fix this car. I'll do anything for you." And he's like, "Really?" She said, "Yeah, sure." He said, "Okay, when I fix this car, can you hold the camel's head?"
I am the Internet's Terror 713. You have just been podcast 2, and I know you loved it. Peace.
Hey.
Hey, what happened to you? You used to be beautiful.